U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran. On February 28th, during the first wave of U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran, a missile hit the Shajara Tayyaba girls' school. That means good tree. To date, 175 people have perished in the attack, with the majority of them being young girls aged 7 to 12. Apparently, the epic fury they're unleashing is against young Iranian girls. And they wonder why we don't feel very patriotic lately. Hoorah. After it happened, most corporate media all but buried the story. And now Trump is trying to blame Iran for it, saying we don't kill civilians.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran. Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
But it's looking like it was indeed the fault of the United States military. According to a story broken on March 5th by Reuters, investigators in the U.S. military believe that it's likely the United States and not Israel who is responsible for this attack. Looks like we're joining in on the time-honored Israeli tradition of blowing up schools full of little kids. So why was a school attacked? Why, despite our apparent advanced surveillance and targeting capabilities, was a school that was visible from satellite imagery painted with colorful murals much like the ones you see behind me? Why was it attacked? And what role does the Pentagon's recent adoption of artificial intelligence play in all this? Did AI help the United States military end the lives of over 100 children? This video won't be lighthearted or funny like the rest of my videos up until this point, but I think it's a really important topic and we need to talk about it. Since the attack, people have taken to social media to claim that the school was a legitimate military target and that they shouldn't have built a school on a military base if they didn't want it attacked. Besides the fact that this is just a demonic take, it's very common to have schools on military bases. America has loads. There are 161 schools that are operated by the Department of Defense. There's actually a whole directory of them. Did you know that you could just Google this on the information superhighway? I actually looked and saw that one of the bases that was attacked in the first wave of retaliatory strikes by Iran actually houses the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters, and that's in Bahrain. Did you know that there is a U.S.-operated school on that base? You can see it right on satellite imagery. There's a sports field and everything. Somehow, it wasn't attacked. Magic.
They have no accuracy whatsoever.
For the Shajara Tayyaba girls' school, you can look on Google Maps and see a sports field and colorful murals. Turns out it could be pretty easy using open source intelligence to figure out what's a school and what's a military installation. And you know the military has better surveillance technology than just Google Maps. So if it's obviously a school, why was it attacked? A recent Al Jazeera report dug into this. The school is a portion of a military base that used to be a barracks over 10 years ago. So if you had extremely outdated intelligence, you might think it's still a military installation. It has walls and gates and a sports field and no military checkpoints like they have for the rest of the base. The report proposes two possibilities. Either US and Israeli forces relied on a very old, outdated intelligence target bank dating to before 2013, which would constitute grave negligence and reckless disregard for civilian lives. Or the strike was carried out deliberately and with prior knowledge to inflict maximum societal shock and undermine popular support for Iran's military establishment. But there's a possibility that the Al Jazeera report isn't considering, and that's that the US bombing of the girls' school could have been a result of its use of AI systems in targeting, and specifically ones that were trained by the IDF in Gaza to commit maximum civilian harm. When I was first researching for this video, I admit that I thought Israel was a culprit for blowing up the girls' school, and that's not for no reason. Israel and its military has a long history of blowing up schools. During the atrocities in Gaza, by early 2025, it was reported that 95.5% of all schools in Gaza were destroyed by the IDF. And reports indicate that the IDF set up a special strike cell to target schools systematically, classifying them as centers of gravity. And it's in this context that artificial intelligence comes into play. It's been proven by a mountain of reporting that the IDF has trained AI systems to commit maximum civilian harm in Gaza. According to a report in Plus 972 magazine titled "A Mass Assassination Factory Inside Israel's Calculated Bombing of Gaza," the IDF implemented an AI targeting system called Hasbora, or Gospel, in order to maximize civilian damage. And later, according to another report by the same magazine, the IDF implemented another AI targeting system dubbed Lavender. According to 6 former IDF officers, Lavender played a central role in its targeting of civilians in Gaza, and it ended up identifying over 37,000 Palestinians as aerial strike targets. And the IDF has given particular attention to what it deems power targets, meaning residential high-rises, universities, and other public buildings. From the report, the idea behind hitting such targets, say 3 intelligence sources who were involved in planning or conducting strikes on power targets in the past, is that a deliberate attack on Palestinian society will exert civil pressure on Hamas. And half of their early targets were these power targets. The report included many sources who previously served for the IDF doing targeting and surveillance. They said that they prioritize damage to civil society and that explicitly or implicitly in their targeting, damage to civilians is the real purpose of these attacks. One of the sources said, the perception is that it really hurts Hamas when high-rise buildings are taken down because it creates a public reaction in the Gaza Strip and scares the population. The strategic imperative to target residential buildings in order to commit mass civilian harm stems from the so-called Dahiya doctrine during the Second Lebanon War. This means using overwhelming and disproportionate force against civilian targets as a means of forcing the civilian population to apply pressure to militants to stop their attacks. We saw this logic used throughout the genocide in Gaza, and I fear that the same logic might be extended into the conflict in Iran. Already, Iranians fear that the US and Israel are going to turn Tehran into another Gaza. Israel's development of AI targeting systems into mass killing machines is significant here, and the US and Israeli militaries already have an agreement to share their intelligence and tactics. So I fear that these same blood-trained AI systems will be put in place by the United States. This could mean the US adopting Israel's same tactics of targeting civilian power targets, because that's what their AI has been trained on. US and Israeli military collaboration stretches far back. In 1983, the US and Israel formed the Joint Political Military Group to do their intelligence and military collaboration at a high institutional level. Since then, together, they regularly do joint military exercises and participate in collaborative weapons development and research. If you want to know more about how the American law enforcement and military apparatuses work with Israel, there's a 57-page report from 2018 called Deadly Exchange: The Dangerous Consequences of US-Israel Law Enforcement Exchanges, and I'll link it below. Defense contractors for the two countries are also very heavily intertwined, especially in the area of surveillance and weapons technology. The development of AI for weaponry is spurred by heavy US and Israeli investment. An AP investigation revealed that after October 7th, the IDF started relying very heavily on various AI systems, including OpenAI and Microsoft. The IDF has called AI a game changer in rapidly generating new targets in Gaza. According to the 972 report, their AI targeting system, Lavender, generates so-called kill lists of Palestinians that don't require thorough vetting from human beings to make sure they're not civilians. One source for this report said that human personnel only serve to rubber stamp the machine's decision, and each decision takes about 20 seconds. And this is knowing that there is a 10% error probability in its targeting. That brings us to today. The Wall Street Journal has reported that AI systems have indeed been used for targeting in the new US-Israeli offensive in Iran, namely Anthropic's Claude. Sources from within the military say that it's used in intelligence assessments, target identification, and simulating battle scenarios. I found an Israeli defense contractor website that hypes up the rapidity with which AI can be used to choose targets. The article is called AI in the War Room: Speed, Scale, and Shrinking Human Pause. As in shrinking the amount of human pause between choosing a target to bomb and that bomb dropping on them. The article reads, recent operations against Iran indicate how artificial intelligence is reshaping that timeline. In the first 12 hours of the joint campaign, nearly 900 strikes were reportedly carried out, a pace that in previous conflicts would have required days or weeks. Analysts attribute part of this acceleration to AI systems capable of processing drone feeds, satellite imagery, and communications intercepts at machine speed. That's right, you can process drone feeds and satellite imagery to choose targets to bomb at speeds never before seen. Isn't that epic? Now, how might this affect things like, I don't know, accidentally choosing a target that's a school full of children? The article continues. By aggregating large datasets and identifying patterns across multiple sources, these tools reduce the manual burden on human teams. Commanders technically remain in the loop, but the window for review is substantially shorter, a phenomenon often described as decision compression. Yeah, let's compress those decisions as fast as humanly possible. That's right, we want to take humans out of the equation so we can drop more and more bombs on more and more targets as fast as possible. I mean, don't take it from me, take it from the Israeli defense contractor that runs this website. The company also organizes joint US-Israeli military playdates in Israel, by the way. Can't make this up. Another article from their website talks about how AI systems might be too embedded in battlefield operations to easily remove. And it talks about them being used in target generation in a way that I find rather disgusting. During the reported strikes, the model provided analytic and simulation support to commanders, helping to refine targeting and anticipate battlefield dynamics. Such applications illustrate why AI systems have attracted interest as force multipliers in defense contexts.
I wanted to air this because I got sent this and I saw this and I watched most of it. I didn't see it all this morning. It's like 30 minutes long, but I watched part of it. And the guy's saying he's criticizing me because you do that, you don't get banned by the algorithm. And he's just one server coming on the waves we created. So he pretty much gets it. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name, Extra Chill Goblin. We always like goblin jokes. I don't know why. I made goblin jokes years ago. They became super viral, so whatever. Yeah. We'll air that. So here's Extra Chill Goblin, and then Harrison Smith takes over. Here it is. Extra Chill Goblin. He pretty much gets it. Dirty. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name. Extra Chill Goblin Vomit, Slop, and Blood. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's got a goblin guide charging into a goblin's nest. I don't want to see him kissing goblins. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. Literal pot-belly goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Extra chill goblin.
Welcome to the Goblin Show. Extra Chill Goblin. Brap, and I remember to turn on my mic this time. Do I have more than one mic going on right now? Or am I just being paranoid? No, only one mic. Great. Gang, Goblin Gang, thanks for tuning in. You're watching Extra Chill Goblin, and right off the top, we just had a little appearance from this channel. Take my Wi-Fi, please. Take my Wi-Fi, please. Take my Wi-Fi, please. It's a take my wife, please joke. And something about that joke, that old Henny Youngman joke, is like, it's been told so many times that people forget what's funny about it. You gotta pause in between wife and please. And even Henny Youngman forgot that shit. Like, that became like his line, you know, that became his like, get her done, you know? And then he just kept saying it all in one go. And it's not funny that way. You gotta pause between wife and please. So anyway, I'm gonna try to say this name again. Take my Wi-Fi, please. Seems like a cool channel. I just heard about them just now. Quite good stuff. Did the U.S. use AI to attack an Iranian girls' school? Check them out. Show them some love. They're a small channel, and they make good shit. I always try to look for, like, when I'm playing videos off the top, like, there's a lot of good videos out there that are just kind of like podcasts or whatever, like people talking, you know, kind of like what I'm doing right now, I guess, like streams sort of thing. Or, you know, it's just like there's not a lot visually going on. So I look for videos that are fun. Like, they have jokes in them. They have, the person has like personality. The topic is interesting and like relevant to kind of stuff we talk about on here. And I felt like the Take My Wi-Fi Please was a good representative of all that type of stuff. So yeah, go check them out. They're good. Boom. Gang. It's Oscars night. Hell yeah. Who's watching the Oscars? Anybody? I mean, presumably, I guess you guys are watching me, not the Oscars. You guys are watching the real show. One sec. Just had to adjust. Maybe that'll be... No, that's way too high up now. Hang on. Trying a new setup for my camera. Oh God. So brutal. Okay, that'll have to be good. We're going high angle shot. Speaking of Oscars, speaking of filmmaking, but yeah, I normally watch the Oscars like every year. Yeah, those ones were good. Sinners and One Battle After Another. Honestly, Eddington robbed. Eddington was best movie of the year. Excuse me, in my opinion. But they didn't get anything. But I normally watch the Oscars live every year. And I normally, honestly, this is the first time in like 15 years or so that I didn't watch every single Best Picture nominee in the lead up to the Oscars. So I'm not even as informed as normal. But I do have, let's see if I can get this. Yes, my Oscars 2026 ballot. And actually, I got one that I've been editing because there's been a few that have already happened. So this was my predictions. I got my little green goblin symbol over here. I think One Battle After Another for Best Picture. Although I'd be happy if it was Sinners. It's between those two. I liked One Battle After Another fine. I mean, it's good. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he's for sure going to win Best Director, just because like he's never won an Oscar before, which is crazy because he's one of the best for sure. Ginger Goblin Jeebus Cripes. Sign me up. That's funny. Ginger Goblin Jeebus Cripes. Maybe I should change that my name from Extra Chill Goblin to that. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley, Hamnet. I did watch that one. That's a good one. Which ones didn't I watch? Hang on. Begonia, solid flick. F1. I didn't watch that one. Honestly, I was kind of like, I don't want to watch another fucking Cars movie. I don't know. It's probably good, I guess, but I didn't have any interest in it. I will watch it. Frankenstein I watched, of course. The great Guillermo del Toro. And that one's on Netflix, so super easy. Hamnet, yeah, that one was good. Sad. You'll cry. If you cry at stuff, you'll cry at this one. If you don't cry at stuff, I mean, you probably won't cry at this one because you have no heart or something. Marty Supreme. Honestly, I loved Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme was good. Best I've ever seen Chalamet, for sure. And I like Chalamet. I'm not a Chalamet hater. No, Michael B. Jordan got a nom. Michael B. Jordan got a nom, and I think he's going to win for Best Actor. He should have been nominated twice. It should have been like Michael B. Jordan as Smoke, Michael B. Jordan as Stack. It should have been like the two twins, you know. Secret Agent I didn't see, and I hear that one's amazing, and I felt kind of bad. It's like a Brazilian thing. I don't really know what it's about, honestly, but I heard it's really good. So I definitely want to see that one. Sentimental Value, I just watched that today. Good. Stellan Skarsgård, Elle Fanning, two actors who are from like acting families, I guess you could say, and the movie is about the pressures of being in a creative family where you kind of get lost in your work and you're not connecting with your family members. Anyway, good. It's a good one. It's Norwegian movie. Yes, yeah. Secret Agent. So fuck. I really want to see it. Yeah. Where's Melania? Robbed. Stop the steal. Melania wins. Best Picture. Not of the year, of the millennium. We'll put a pause on the Oscars for now. Re-release Melania with the new CGI, George Lucas style, every year, every 6 months. I definitely want to watch it. Yeah, I definitely want to watch all of these. I'm a little disappointed in myself, and it is all my fault. Like normally, Goblin Queen and I like make a point to sit down and watch them, and this year she's kept telling me, she's like, "Oh, we gotta watch make sure we watch these. We make because I'm, traditional gender roles in our household. I'm the one that downloads movies. I think that's only right that the man does that. But yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson for director, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She crushes it. She's so good. She's been killer in everything I've seen her in ever. And she hasn't won anything yet. I don't think. So it's her turn. I think she was good. Although I didn't see If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And I hear that one is a really good movie as well with Rose Byrne. Best actor, I went with Michael B. Jordan. I think he's kind of locked. It's kind of been between him and Chalamet at all the other award ceremonies leading up to this one, which are good predictors here. Sean Penn, best supporting actor for One Battle After Another. I think he's got that one. I think he's got that one. Just like Timothée Chalamet was perfectly cast to play like a fucking annoying like hustle culture bro. Excuse me, like extremely well cast for that. Sean Penn was extremely well cast to play this horrifying psychopath. Which also like Sean Penn is a good actor. And he's also happens to be kind of nuts, I think. Kind of I don't know, scary. He's got a kind of crazy little glint in his eye, You don't know what he's about to do. Amy Madigan. So I already got this one right. Best supporting actress. This is Amy Madigan from Weapons. Love to see horror movies represented. Honestly, like this is a thing for Sinners too. Like for Sinners to win Best Picture. I mean, I know it would be big for the black community. It'd be big for the horror community too. The genre movie community, those are usually get awards. Happy to see horror getting some love up here in the prestige categories. Best adapted screenplay, that's gotta be One Battle After Another. Although Train Dreams was so good as well. Didn't mention that one. That's also nominated for Best Picture, I think. But saw that one. Really, really beautiful, just beautiful movie. It feels like the type of movie you'd watch with your dad, and your dad would single tear, single tear. Like you've only see your dad cry like, maybe once or twice in your life, and that one of those times would be watching this movie. Quite good. Gorgeous cinematography. Original screenplay, I put Sinners. Sinners is the most nominated movie ever, by the way. Crazy. Yeah, Weapons came out this year. Yeah. Not nominated for Best Picture, but yeah. Okay, what else are we doing? Oh, documentary feature. I don't know. I just guessed. I haven't seen any of these, but Perfect Neighbor is on Netflix, so I figure more people have seen it. More Academy voters will just pick that one. That was my whole logic. Best animated feature. Already got this one right. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think this one's also going to win Best Song. Also, funniest thing ever for Best Song. Normally they play the five songs. They have bands or whatever artists come and sing them during the ceremony. And this year they're like, we're only going to do Golden and fucking I Lied to You. We're only going to do the one from Sinners and the one from K-pop. Because like, and they're like, we're trying to save time in the ceremony. But it's like, well, those are the only two that are going to win. Those are definitely the only two that are going to win. I Lied to You. So good, dude. Like that's like, I guess kind of a divisive scene in that movie, but I thought that scene was really cool. Camera spinning around, and you're like kind of traveling through time. You know the one I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Best costume design, gotta go to Frankenstein. Frankenstein had amazing costume design. Guillermo del Toro works with the same crew of people every movie, and they work like a finely oiled machine here. I got this one wrong already. Best casting, I thought Sinners, but it went to One Battle After Another. I feel like there's so many categories that are toss up between those two movies, and I mean I don't know. Really, was One Battle After Another? Did it have good casting? I mean, I guess it did. I suppose. But I don't know. I liked One Battle After Another. I love Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't think it. I wouldn't. I don't think it should like sweep the awards. But Best original score, I think that one's going to go to Sinners. Ludwig Göransson, he's the guy who did he just won for Oppenheimer score. So I think that's another one for him. Best makeup and hairstyling, Frankenstein. I put production design Frankenstein. Again, that team always works together. Best visual effects, James Cameron's got that one. Everybody else is not even really. They didn't even like prepare a speech because they know it's going to go to him. Best sound, it's got to go to the Car movie. Best live action short. These were just guesses, but Two People Exchanging Saliva, Best Animated Short, Retirement Plan, Best Documentary Short, All the Empty Rooms. I don't know, but that was my thing. I don't know. I like doing this thing. And let me just double check. Has any new thing happened? This is my read live updates. Yes. Let's see. What do we got? Anything? Chloe Zhao seemingly played tribute to Hemnet on the Oscars red carpet. Whoa. No, what? She wore a veil. That's. Whoa, and somebody died in her movie, so it must be playing tribute to her own movie. It's like, I think you should chill out. Come on now. No more winners, really? Damn, I feel like it's been forever. Oh, hey, I got another win. Coogler won for Best Original Screenplay. I did put that, right? Right? Best Original Screenplay, Coogler. Yeah. Sorry, gang. I know you guys don't come to me for Oscar picks or whatever, but I enjoy this stuff. Sometimes the streams are just for me. So I got another one right. This is Tina original. Oh, one battle after another wins for Best Adapted Screenplay. Honestly, that's another win for me. Yeah, obviously, but I'm not like bragging about that one. It won like every other time it was nominated. It was like the most sure bet you could make for that category. Anything else? Vogue. Oh, Sean Penn wins Best Supporting Actor. Yeah. Okay, listen, gang. Crushing it here. Oh, there's a tie. Wait, huh? Can I do that? Two guys won the same award? That's crazy. That's nuts. Okay, hang on.
And the Oscar goes to... It's a tie. I'm not joking. It's actually a tie. So everyone calm down. We're going to get through this. Focus up. Calm down. So remain calm. I'm going to name one winner. They'll come up, accept their award, and then I'll come back and name another winner.
What? Huh? All right. I guess. Sure. It's a tie. Yeah, I did. That was one of the ones I put. So what do I give myself for that? Like, there's no way I could have predicted that there would be a tie. I just picked the Two People Exchanging Saliva because I think it was like available on the New Yorker. I figured that would be one that people would have seen. Also, I like the title. One battle after another. Casting director. Ooh, no, I lost that one. Okay, great. So we're all caught up, and maybe throughout the night I'll periodically check in on this and see if I win the little game I presented myself. So I'm doing pretty good so far. I got them almost all right, except for one, which is the new category that I don't really understand yet. There's certain tricks you can use. Best actress category, a lot of the time it's like the best actor a lot of time goes to whoever best embodied the American dream. I read this once on RogerEbert.com. The best actor category goes to somebody who embodies the American dream, which I think Michael B. Jordan's characters do in a way in Sinners. And the best actress category goes to somebody who's like talking about specifically like what it's like to be a woman. You know, like it's not just like a best actress isn't just about like a person who happens to be a woman who experiences a story. It's about like how hard it is to be a woman or whatever, like living under patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. That has to be typically is what best actress category goes to. Best director. I think I think it's a lock for Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, and Best Director. But he'll definitely win Best Director. It's his time. I think Oscars kind of feel like that. Emma Stone should have gotten it. Best Actress. Oh, Begonia. Oh, she was good in Begonia. Yeah, she was. She was good in Begonia. But have you seen Hamnet though? Maro Cat. She crushes it. She, no doubt, she absolutely crushes it. All right. I guess I should save this just in case I accidentally. Oh, it's all saved already. Okay, great. I don't really use Canva. I just wanted something I could easily update online. Yeah, Jessie Buckley is very talented. Honestly, I don't really know. I didn't see Song Sung Blue or If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, and I heard Rose Byrne is also incredible. So I don't want to say Jessie Buckley's whatever. And she hasn't won it yet. She might not win. It could be Emma Stone. The green ones were my guess. Green for Goblin. Goblin green. All right. Okay. Gonna take a little break from that. Gonna take a little break from this. And by the way, guys, I did post this. I think this was before the Oscars started. Actually, I might have gotten this in after. But I promise I didn't see anything. I was like desperately trying to make this up and then post it. All right. Now, ending our little Oscars thing for now, moving into topic number 1 for today. Excuse me. This is just fun. I mean, well, it's not just fun. Some of it is serious. So, okay. So I don't know if you guys saw this clip from
early
Channel 5. Andrew Callahan talking about, he's talking to Ro Khanna, one of the guys who is on the, Epstein Files Transparency Act. He's on that movement, whatever you call it. Oh, double browser audio? Oh, thank you, Stubbins. All right. Oh, yes. Okay. Hang on. Let me just double check here.
Ghislaine Maxwell had a relationship with the founder of 4chan, Christopher Poole. His name online.
That should be it. That should be good, right? Yeah. Let me know if it's still doing it. But so he's talking to him about Epstein. So I'm just gonna play it. I'm just gonna let it ride. Let's see.
Ghislaine Maxwell had a relationship with the founder of 4chan, Christopher Poole. His name online was Moot. Yeah. And it basically showed that she was instrumental in moderating a board called POL, P-O-L, and that was one of the really early incubation locations for what became QAnon and the Q drops.
I didn't know that.
And the Q drops really almost resemble the reality of the recent Epstein file dump, but they just include 10% of the craziest stuff you've ever heard in your life,
right.
And it delegitimizes everything else. Now,
that's so interesting.
So what they sort of did is effectively associate like Anunnaki lizard theory about like snakes in the moon controlling our minds,
right.
And flat Earth with like elite child trafficking,
right.
And kind of put everything in the loony bin and created these useless rabbit holes for people to dive down.
Right.
And I just find it super interesting that the recent files proved a tangible connection between QAnon and Jeffrey Epstein.
I had no idea about that. That more people need to know that. But the reality is some of the people...
All right, I'm going to pause it there. So I appreciate what he's trying to do there. I mean, I've talked before about, we need to we should be taking conspiracies a little bit more seriously, especially since so many people have been downplaying the Epstein case for so long. But oh my God, this was like nails on a chalkboard for me. He gets so much wrong here. Yeah, Moot was a mod. Did he call Moot a mod of 4chan? Yeah, let's watch it again. Just very disjointedly when we talk about this.
Ghislaine Maxwell had a relationship with the founder of 4chan, Christopher Poole.
Okay, already? No, she did not. What are you talking about? That's not true. I mean, maybe it is true, but we have no evidence to make us think that is the case. There is a theory that Ghislaine Maxwell ran was one of the what was it? There was a Reddit account, Maxwell Hill, that was the first account to cross 1 million karma, something like that. Somebody who posted constantly every day. And there's a theory that that's Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's a surprisingly robust theory. There's some weird there's some genuinely weird things that line up, but it's far from proven. So that's Reddit. That's not 4chan. That's not Moot did meet with Epstein. Epstein and him met at least once. Like they seem to have been scheduling times to meet. Again, we don't know if they actually did that, but like just all off the bat, wrong in like 3 different intersecting ways. Intersectional wrongness. Anyway, she was, or sorry, the person, Maxwell Hill, was the mod of, I think, World News, r/World News. But anyway, okay, moving on.
His name online was Moot.
Yeah.
And it basically showed that she was instrumental in moderating a board called Poll, P-O-L.
No.
And that was...
What are you talking about? No, she was not. No. The moderator of Poll, like there's the janitors, there's moderators, different kind of levels of control. Ghislaine Maxwell has no connection to 4chan as far as we know. Yeah, so, and then to be like, to specify the board Poll? No, there is a thing where the week that Poll was created, what happens to be around the time that Epstein met with Poole for the first and maybe possibly only time. And a lot of people were like, oh, that confused me or whatever. But it's like, that isn't it. So here's the other thing that bugs me is he's got editors. He's got people who are like watching it and putting clips over top of it. Wouldn't they be like, dude, you got this completely wrong. You got this wrong in like an impressive amount of ways all at once. And so they're putting up like Epstein met with 4chan's founder just as the site's infamous political thread began. Yeah, that's true. Like that is true. But that isn't what he's saying. He's talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. He's saying she was a mod of Poll. What? Anyway, moving on. If you're watching it and you don't know, you would think to yourself, oh, fuck, I guess that must be proof. I guess in that article it must prove what he just said. No, it doesn't.
One of the really early incubation locations for what became QAnon and the Q drops.
I didn't know that.
Also, I mean, like, this is nitpicking at this point, but like, yeah, I mean, like, the 4chan is not, I mean, I guess you could say it was the early incubation thing for 4chan because there were a lot of other guys before Q posting Q type shit that eventually became Q. But yeah, maybe one day I'll do a stream about that. I find that shit super interesting. But like to say that these things eventually became Q drops, like, yeah, that happened on 4chan. Like that was the Q drop. The first Q drops were on 4chan. And then it moved to 8chan when they got banned, but it was already really popular. All right, moving on.
And the Q drops really almost resemble the reality of the recent Epstein file dump.
Like, and this is just wrong. I mean, like, hey, this is sort of similar to things that I say, you know, like I did a thing last week about how when people have been talking about QAnon for a long time, they're like thoroughly debunked, absolutely baseless. They're evidence-free theory called QAnon or whatever from like 2018 to like 2022. All coverage of QAnon said this. And now it's like with the Epstein drops, it's like, well, like here's what you can say. It's like we can't really say that Pizzagate and QAnon were evidence-free, baseless, completely baseless. It's like, no, there was at least one true thing, you know? There was one true thing, but he takes it so much further than that.
Q drops really almost resemble the reality of the recent Epstein file dump, but they just include 10% of the craziest stuff you've ever heard in your life,
right.
And it delegitimizes everything else. Now
that's so interesting.
So what?
Also, so first of all, no, almost nothing of Q is true. Like 0.0001% of the crazy bullshit that Q says is true. The rest of it is nuts. The rest of it is moon snakes, as he goes on to say.
What they sort of did is effectively...
And I'm also disappointed at, like, Ro Khanna. He's the fucking Silicon Valley rep. He should know about this shit. He should be like, actually, Ghislaine Maxwell was theoretically a Reddit mod, there's no theory that says Ghislaine Maxwell was secretly running the Rape Ape account. That's not... I mean, maybe that is her. Is there a theory that Rape Ape is Ghislaine Maxwell? I guess that could be.
is everything else. Now
That's so interesting.
So what they sort of did is effectively associate.
Wow, that's so interesting. What do you mean?
Like Anunnaki lizard theory about like snakes in the moon controlling our minds,
Right.
and flat Earth with like elite child trafficking,
Right.
and kind of put everything in the loony bin and created these.
I do think that that's like, I think that that may partially be part of the strategy here, but to lump in the real shit with all this loony moon snake stuff. But so I don't fully disagree with him on that. I just disagree on the percentage there, that it's 90% true, 10% moon snakes. Dude, no. I mean, I know these things are subjective, I guess, but like we know it's not that.
Useless rabbit holes for people to dive down.
Right.
And I just find it super interesting that the recent files proved a tangible connection between QAnon and Jeffrey Epstein.
I had no idea about that. That more people need to know that. But
No, man. More people do not need to know that. Anyway, so I posted this online. I said, Andrew gets like 10 things wrong in the first 10 seconds here, assuming he was half remembering a annoyed TikTok he saw that morning, which that's fine. It happens to all of us. Still crazy to edit this with pictures and clips and not take a second to note that it's complete horse shit. It's kind of going over what I just went over, but yes, Ghislaine Maxwell had a relationship with 4chan founder Moot. Wrong. Maxwell was instrumental in moderating poll. Wrong. Q drops for 90% accurate information, 10% snakes in the moon controlling your mind type shit. Wrong. And then I did the correct thing here. Anyway, now I gotta shout out this guy. This is what I really didn't I didn't care about this enough to do a thing about it on stream, but I met my new favorite guy on here. This guy here goes, bro. Wait, let me think of what kind of voice I want to give this guy. Bro, you're dumb as fuck. QAnon was absolutely a fucking drip feed system to turn rational conspiracy theorists into absolute bullshit parrots. And it turned out most of them xenophobic when they had no idea what xenophobia even was. And I don't fully understand what this guy's talking about here, but he got into it with me. He commented on my thing where I'm saying like, here's what he got wrong. Wrong. You know, I put like the X emoji, meaning wrong. And he goes, and you get like 10 things wrong. Your dumbass lists 3? And you have no way to validate either side? The internet. All right? The internet. Love that part too. And I was like, what? I was like, this was like all of the characters I had to work with. I ain't got a blue check, you know? I'm still in the, 280 limit here? But anyway, I'm like, I may have exaggerated slightly. Now I give myself the cool voice. I may have exaggerated slightly. Also, it took him longer than 10 seconds, but these claims aren't in the Epstein files. You can tell he just got them wrong because they're close enough to some well-known theories, but he misstates them and acts like they're proven facts. And then our friend over here, McClanahan's like, wait. This just got fun. The Epstein files don't confirm the relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and Pohl, or the Epstein files don't confirm the relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and Moot. This is going to be so much fun for me. Please answer. So I was like, so I read that and I was like, he was like asking me, which one is this? Which one? They don't confirm Ghislaine Maxwell and Pohl, or they don't confirm Ghislaine Maxwell and Moot. And I was like, both. Like, neither, I guess I should have said. They don't confirm either of these things. And then Conan goes, that's not an answer. Try again. You see, actual idiot, either one thing can be true or the other. But since Moot ran 4chan, he cannot have known who created and modded his channel directly. Like, spoke to them directly. Try again. And I read this over a few times. I was trying to figure out what he meant by this. And so I think he's saying that because Moot, so the two things he said were, so wait, which one of these? the Epstein files don't confirm the relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and Pohl, or they don't confirm the relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and Moot. And he's saying because Moot ran 4chan, there's no way he could have known who modded Pohl. Which I don't even think that's true. I think that's wrong. I think he could have known that. But okay, like even if that is the case, like he takes like a oath not to know. There's some kind of conflict of interests type thing around this where he's not allowed to find out who is modding his different, channels. These could still both be true, right? Because I said, well, neither of them are true because the Epstein files don't confirm the relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and Pohl or Moot because there doesn't seem to be one. So, like maybe in his world, yeah, maybe they couldn't both be true, but I think they can still both be false, You're being very generous, liking all his replies. These are my favorite tweets ever. These are my favorite tweets I've ever read. I laughed so hard at these. But yeah, it's 100% wrong. 4chan mods have an IRC channel. Yeah, I mean, like, anyway, I don't know what he's talking about here, but then he goes, Dragon. And I'm like, okay. Let's say it's impossible for Ghislaine to have relationships with both Moot and 4chan. Giving myself the cool voice again. I think both of your statements can be true, though, right? Since the Epstein files do not confirm Ghislaine's relationship with either. And then he goes, I'm not doing this. :P. Good luck, idiot. Hopefully you can figure out how to use Google or soon Web. This is Ian Carroll's new app, new research app he's got, Web. Or Gmail. Oh, what happened? Or Gmail, or watch Breaking Points, or do Dissidents, or part of the program, or part of the problem, or even Rogan. Or remember how most of this was actually from the Assange Chelsea Manning leaks? So I don't even know what he's talking about here. But I was so disappointed because I was like, God, I really wanted him to keep going. So I was like, come on, man, don't give up. You're lining up a dunk. I can tell. What did I get wrong? It's like I wanted to hear what he was. It just seemed like from what he was saying, oh, this just got fun, or this is going to be so much fun for me. Like the way he's talking, like I was expecting him to just be like, and you are old, and I have destroyed you. And I was kind of looking forward to that moment. So I'm like, dude, come on, please. What were you going to say? What were you going to say? It's okay. And he goes, so he responded a bunch of times. You're actually R-slurred. Walking away from an R-slur is healthy behavior. I'll even help you out, because I know you won't read it. Epstein met Pohl, October 2011. Pohl created November 2011. Maxwell Hill account joins 4chan December. So first of all, no. This is wrong. Maxwell Hill that's Reddit. That's Reddit. How are you this angry on the internet and you don't know the difference between 4chan and Reddit? I thought the angry guys online knew about that distinction, but no. Maxwell Hill, you don't have accounts on 4chan. December 2011 to January 2012, posting QAnon. What? No, Maxwell Hill was not posting QAnon. Last post by Maxwell Hill dated June 30, 20. Ghislaine arrested July 2nd, 20. And then it goes, Grok, can you explain this? So now Grok's gotten into the fun. So I'll read the Grok replies because they're also great. And Grok is like, I mean, I'm not going to really bother reading the entire thing, but Grok's basically like, no, man, the timeline mixes verified Epstein file details with speculation. Oh, wait a second. Damn, okay, this is new for me. Christopher Poole is mentioned as one of the people who went to Bohemian Grove. That's what that blue highlight means. Really? No way. That's crazy. Maybe I'll look into that in a second. Sorry, that's a little out of the whatever world here, but Grok is basically like, no, you're wrong. What you're saying is wrong. QAnon didn't exist in 2011 to 2012. Started in 2017. Also a good point. No evidence Maxwell moderated 4chan. And then our buddy goes, Grok, is there a common quote that police detectives use when referencing coincidence during investigations? Which is like, what? And it's like, oh, it's because Grok said that Epstein meeting with Poole around the time Poll was launched. Moot said that was pure coincidence. Is there a common quote police detectives use when referencing coincidence? Yes, a common one from detective fiction and real-world cop lore is, I don't believe in coincidences. And then Conan goes, indeed they do. Thank you, Grok. That will be all. No further questions, Your Honor. Whatever. You're welcome. That detective mindset keeps investigators alert to patterns, but they always choose verifiable evidence to connect them. And then does this, blah, 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 blah. Epstein files show no confirmed Maxwell ties to 4chan, Moot, or that Reddit account. Fun thread, though. Conan, I tried really hard. Appreciate the effort on the timeline. Anyway, so that's the Grok back and forth. But now we got to go back here. This is where I chime in again, where Conan lays out his ironclad kind of timeline. And I was like, thanks for laying that out. Some corrections. Maxwell Hill was a Reddit account, not a 4chan account. 4chan doesn't have account names like that. QAnon didn't exist in 2017. Gilen's arrest lining up with Maxwell Hill going dark is interesting, but not confirmation. It's okay. Anything I can do for a fellow, this is so funny he calls it this, a fellow R-slurred person, I try to do. I once was R-slurred also. I couldn't even speak. But then, I was only 1 year old. Then I grew out of it. Awesome. Awesome response. Oh, then we have Stupins commented 8 minutes ago. Subscribe to Chill Goblin. But anyway, I loved this response so much. He's like, yeah, I used to be like you. And then I turned 2 years old or whatever. Whatever he's going for there. God, I made me laugh. And I was like, fuck, I give up. You win this round. Sad face emoji. Perhaps one day we will engage in Twitter battle again. And then he sends me this. The Leo cheers. Good day to you. Maybe perhaps next time you'll have done more training and will be a worthy opponent. I love that this guy exists. He's my favorite. Worst person ever. No. Come on. Getting on by the bot, not reading it either is so good. No, I mean, this guy's the best, guys. Please don't. We're not cyberbullying here. I don't want people to go gang up on this guy or anything. This is ancient history. This is like 2 weeks ago. I should have been talking about this last week, but I just thought this was a very funny little exchange. Yeah, he mocked me. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. I would love to talk to him again. I would love to have a recurring kind of back and forth with this guy. He rules. I should have him be a guest on the stream. Maybe he can like teach me something. For real. Yeah. Okay. So Christopher K. Poole, eh? Yeah. Let's look at the Bohemian Grove list because that's kind of new. That's new information. Bo Grove? Oh no. Pool. Oh, there's a bunch of pools. Huh. Wow. Weirdly, there's actually at least 2 guys named Christopher Poole. I mean, maybe that's just a common name. Bruce Christopher Poole, Christopher K. Poole. And both of them are in Sleepy Hollow. Don't know what that means. Yeah, interesting. Bruce Poole, Christopher Poole, David Poole, and who else we got? Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that's it. So there's 4 Pools. I mean, yeah, Christopher K. Poole. I don't think that's Moot's name. Christopher Poole, middle name. Also known as Moot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we know. I feel like we do know his middle name, or maybe not. I don't know. It's interesting because there's not a lot of Silicon Valley guys at Bohemian Grove these days, which is surprising, you know? Like, I think Bohemian Grove maybe doesn't represent the true ruling class as much as it perhaps it used to, because they seem to have failed to have captured the attention of the Silicon Valley elite, the tech bros, you know? Which I mean, maybe that's because the tech bros are like kind of awkward and not maybe down to go and party at this big networking event. I don't know. They do like Burning Man, which is almost the same thing, but it's not a secret. But it does seem like the new batch of Bohemian Grovers, there's a lot of military guys, like high up, like generals and shit, is my understanding. Yeah, maybe it's too old school. Maybe it's too old school. And it's funny because there is that message between Epstein and what's his name? Peter Thiel, was it? No, actually it was Joy Ito. Epstein and Joy Ito, where they're talking about starting a new secret society. And Joy Ito is like a tech guy. And he was like, yeah, I talked to Peter Thiel about our secret society idea. And he said, let me see if I can find it, actually. I'll just type in secret society. I mean, all of these look kind of interesting. Suggestions for an old guy. Who knows what this is? Suggestions for an old guy. Super smart / well-connected that wants to continue legacy of old school secret society? Let me look at the original document because I'm sort of confused of what's happening here. Okay, so this is an email from somebody. Any other suggestions for an old guy, super smart, well-connected that wants to continue legacy of old school secret society? Awesome. That's probably Joy Ito. Friends visiting polyamory and S&M. Okay. Society. Oh, secret society. Oh, okay. Yeah, she wrote something there. Friends visiting. Yeah, that's the same one. Hi, Sneaky. Please call. What's this? Sent an article? Is this the article that person sent him? I don't know. I don't know what this is. What the hell? This is so confusing. View original document. Hi, Sneaky. Please call. And then just copies and pastes. This looks like an article he's just copy pasting in. No. Again, this is from Epstein to Epstein. It's another. It looks like he's copy pasting an article into an email to himself. Weird guy. Doesn't really seem to have known the thing. Transatlantic pedophilia connections, rather. That's the British thing. Okay. Wait a minute. Secret society. Yeah, no. Okay. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know. I must be. Oh, Sinners won the Oscar for Best Original Score. Damn, gang. Am I crushing it or what? Yo, check me out over here, Ludwig. Another one. We got another one. Yes, thank you to our live Oscar correspondent. Dudes. Did I miss any other ones? What else we got? Oh, All the Empty Rooms documentary short film. I don't think I picked that one, did I? Oh, I did. Wow, total luck of the draw on that. Frankenstein. It won Best Costume Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Production Design. I believe I had it for costume design, and I definitely had it for Yes, makeup and hairstyling. And I have production design. Gang! Look at me. I'm on fire. I only got one wrong. What else we got? Sean Penn skipped the Oscars for an amazing reason. Oh, he was going to Ukraine? What a nut. What a nut. Okay, now we're down into this. I know we read these before. And agreed. Amy Madigan. It is cool horror films are getting more recognition. Some horror films are good. Some are bad, but so are any kind of film, you know? Hell yeah. Yeah. One Battle isn't my pick for Best Picture, but I think it will win. Although I would prefer if Sinners won. I would love it if Sinners won. I loved Sinners. And I like One Battle After Another too, but I'm mostly just pissed Eddington wasn't even nominated. That would be my pick. Oh, did Avatar get Best Visual Effects too already? I did miss that. Hang on. That did happen? No. One Battle After Another. Hey, Conan O'Brien, another Bohemian Grove guy. Conan O'Brien and his ties to Moot from 4chan. Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, I cannot find Avatar on here. Are we sure did it win? You think Bugonia it's your personal pick, like you liked it, or you think it will win? Because I like Bugonia too. I like Bugonia a lot. One Battle After Another, Bugonia, and Eddington are like these three like kind of conspiracy thrillers that came out last year that are all quite good. But OBAA, Obama, nice. Yeah. R.I.P. Trevor Moore, which I believe like Weapons is kind of about alcoholism in a way and how it can ruin households. What? I demand a recount on this. Most extra chill Goblin goes to Goblin Queen? No, fuck that. Which one did I get wrong again? Oh, best casting. Yeah, I mean, fuck. I do agree casting is an art form, but like I don't understand it enough, maybe. I don't see how I don't totally grasp like how do you know which film, like I know when I see good casting, but I don't know if this makes any sense, but how do you know when it's like the best casting of the year or whatever, right? Like I don't know, it's all weird. All of it is weird. All right, now I'm going to let's do this. Back on my fucking obsidian shit over here. I got a fucking crazy chart here. We're fucking bulletin boarding our way to the truth, you know? Tying red string to thumbtacks until we get answers. And sometimes it feels like you can kind of do that. And this one is this one's about little guy you may know named William Jefferson Clinton, Billy J, Silly Billy as they used to call him, former president. I guess you're always president. Once you're president, you're always president. Common expression in the U.S. President William J. Clinton. And this is I've put together a little thing here, and this is about Little St. James Island. Did Bill Clinton ever visit this place? Did he ever go? How do we know? What's the evidence for and against? All right, so I've compiled everything. So let's start with this, because for a long time, this was all that we'd ever heard from Bill Clinton. All right, this is the only thing we got, and it was a statement from Angel Urena. Not going to read the whole thing. President Clinton, a statement on Jeffrey Epstein. And this is tweeted in 2019, all right, July 8th, okay? So, like, Epstein gets arrested. The Clinton team freaks out. Angel Arena posts this. And until like 2024, December, this is all we ever heard, essentially. There's articles about Bill Clinton after this point where they reach out to him and they just get this statement back. And occasionally Angel will say some new thing, but barely ever. And it's not notable. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but right down here it says, he's not spoken to Epstein in well over a decade and has never been to Little St. James Island. All right? He's never been there. According to, this is Clinton's chief of staff, by the way, Angel. Okay, so that was it for a long-ass time until Clinton's book came out. What was it called? My Life Continued, something like that. And he goes, in here, he's talking about, where is it? Like this is it in the entire, it's like a big, thick-ass book. These 2 pages are the only times he brings up Epstein at all, and it's the most we've heard from him ever. I'm going to try and read some of this here. Sorry for making noises right into the mic. Hang on. I got to make everything bigger. Sometimes this happens with Obsidian. You got to know the tips and tricks, like me, where you make everything bigger, and that way you can zoom in more. So it says, I'm looking for specifically the part where it talks about the island. So he's like, I never did that much. Oh man, I barely knew the guy. Blah, blah, blah. I always thought Epstein was odd, had no inkling of the crimes he was committing. He hurt a lot of people, but I knew nothing about it. And by the time he was first arrested in 2005, I'd stopped contact with him. I'd never visited his island. I've never visited his island. When it was suggested that I traveled there without my round-the-clock Secret Service detail, which would explain why there's never been a record of me being there, in 2016, the Secret Service took the extraordinary step of saying I had never waived protection and they had never been there. Another person reportedly said she'd seen me on the island, but that I didn't do anything wrong. However, in early 2024, unsealed depositions showed she'd only heard I was there, but didn't actually see me. Then there was one of my former staffers who fed the story to Vanity Fair. He knew it wasn't true when he said it. Anyway, that is it. That's all we get. Need some specific things there. I'll go into that in a second here, but I just want to point these all out. And then we have the deposition from the other day. And you know what? Maybe I'll save this and I'll get into this a little bit later. But let's look into some of the evidence for him going to the island. All right. So very first one, and we've already heard him mention this person, but without saying her name, Virginia Giuffre, who was interviewed in Daily Mail in 2011. 2011. It was 2011 this was. This is 2011. This was. I don't know why I said it like that. It's 2011. This was. This is right. This is right. Rubbish. This is. No, this isn't rubbish. Sorry, I was just trying to think of British things to say. No, I didn't mean to imply that this is rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's real. Blah, blah, blah. Virginia says she was never lent out to Clinton. On one occasion, Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to a dinner, which he gave on his Caribbean island, that would be Little St. James, for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left office. But as far as she knows, the ex-president did not take the bait. I would have been about 17 at the time, flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. She'd always wanted to fly. Jeffrey paid for her to take lessons. I remember she was very excited because she got her license around the first year we met. I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I only ever met Bill twice, but Jeffrey told me they were good friends. I asked, how come? And he laughed and said he owes me some favors. Maybe he was just joking, but it constantly surprised me that people with as much to lose as Bill and Prince Andrew weren't more careful. Bill must have known about Jeffrey's girls. There were 3 desks in the living area of the villa on the island. It goes on a little bit. They were covered with pictures of Jeffrey shaking hands with famous people, photos of naked girls, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Ghislaine was at Bill's, so she's sitting at the table. Ghislaine was at Bill's left, and the left of Ghislaine, there were 2 olive-skinned brunettes who'd flown in with us from New York. I'd never met them before. I'd say they were no older than 17. Very innocent looking. They weren't there for me. They weren't there for Jeffrey or Ghislaine because I was there to have sex with Jeffrey on the trip. Maybe Jeffrey thought they were to entertain Bill, but I saw no evidence that he was interested in them. He and Jeffrey and Ghislaine seemed to have a very good relationship. Bill was very funny. He made me laugh a few times, and he and Jeffrey and Ghislaine told blokey jokes, and the brunettes listened politely and giggled. After dinner, I gave Jeffrey an erotic massage. I don't remember seeing Bill again on the trip, but I assume Guylaine flew him back. All right. So that's Virginia. That's Virginia Giuffre's story. And she's told it a few times. I mean, I go into this is sort of a convoluted thing, but I go into it a bunch where the way that I made a video about Clinton and Epstein's ties, and the way that Bill talks about it here is a lie. Like, this is a lie from the book. I don't know if he went to the island, but I know he's lying about this, where he says, another person reportedly said she'd see me on the island. He's talking about Virginia here, but that I didn't do anything wrong, right? So because she's like, well, I didn't see him do anything. However, in early 2024, unsealed depositions showed she'd only heard I was there, but didn't actually see me. That's a lie. In the deposition, she says she had only heard that he had taken a helicopter there, because they were asking her about that article by Sharon Churcher in the Daily Mail, and she's like, oh, no, I don't know. Yeah, no, I wasn't on the helicopter with him or anything. I just, when he said that Guylaine did a good job flying, he was just telling me that. Like, I didn't see him. I wasn't on the helicopter. I came over earlier on a plane, So she was saying I'd never seen him on the helicopter. She did say she saw him on the island. She said in that interview, and she said in 4 or 5 other places since that point, the same story. And in some of them, she includes a part where Bill had an arm around each of these young, 17-year-old New York brunette girls, olive-skinned girls, walking towards one of the fucking cabanas. She caught a glimpse of him later at night. Her story does not look good for Bill, but he misrepresents her here and says, then she admits that she actually didn't see me. She only heard I was there. So that's a lie. Always infuriates me that he would do that. Anyway, here's another one. Doug Band, who we have definitely talked about before on this show, but this dude here, Bill Clinton's number one, right-hand man, bag man, and there's Tony Podesta over here. But yeah, he was like a surrogate son to Bill Clinton, and then they had a falling out, and they hate each other now. And he said, so Doug Band, he talks so much shit about Clinton now. Band said, in January 23, according to Band, Clinton visited Epstein's private Caribbean island, Little St. James. Band said it was one of the few trips he declines to go on in his time with Clinton. A Clinton spokesperson said the president had never been to the island and provided detailed travelogue entries of the period in question that did not contain a visit. Oh, it's always like, and I can prove I've never been there. Look, here's my diary. No entries about going to an island. And I would have put that in here. It's like, this is your shit. These are your records. Why would you put, then I went to the pedophile island for a week. Annoying that this is supposed to be evidence to me. But yes, that is the case. So that's from Doug Band. And I mean, I don't think Doug Band is particularly trustworthy. I think that he kind of lies a lot, but it's also just Clinton, he's always surrounding himself with awful people. The guy he seemingly has a very fucking bad, I don't know, what do you call it? Radar for, who to connect with. He's his best friends are all of these fucking pervert billionaires. Steve Bing, Ron Burkle, Jeffrey Epstein, everyone knew that was a bad idea, but Clinton's no, it's cool. No, they're my buddies, So it's whatever. Maybe Doug Band is lying about this, but if Clinton would make the mistake of making this dude his right-hand man, who would later go on to betray him on a Shakespearean level, almost. I mean, he didn't get stabbed in the back or some shit, but I just don't find it hard to believe that he was that close to Epstein or went to the island, Here's another person. And this is from Steve Scully, former IT contractor in Epstein's private island, Little St. James. In the documentary on Netflix, Filthy Rich, there's an interview with Scully, and he says, I saw Bill Clinton sitting with Jeffrey on the living room porch area on the island, which is Jeffrey's favorite spot. I saw no other guests there at that time at all. I just thought, hey, wow, Jeffrey's sitting with Bill Clinton. Angel Arena, one of the few times that our buddy actually did respond, gave this brief response. This was the lie the first time it was told, and it isn't true today, no matter how many times it's repeated. Now, so that's, 3 sources now. And then this is the most recent one, I believe, from another person we've talked about quite a bit on this show, Anushka DiGiorgio on, what's it called? What's the name of it? Young Turks. Sorry.
Me.
I forgot the name of it. And it's at 24:31. Hang on now. 24:31. All right, check this out. And they're just talking about, she just told them, she's like, yes, I was given to Trump. I was offered up to Trump as a, whatever, like a gift. She says, when she was 20. So not when she was underage, but still, she was like trafficked to Donald Trump. I think more people should know about that. But they're going off of that conversation at the beginning. So that's what they're talking about.
But that was my experience, right?
So you got the sense that you were given it as an offering, but Trump was, at that point in time, for whatever reason, was not interested.
That's right.
Okay. How about Bill Clinton? Any interaction with him?
I didn't have interaction with him, but I did have on multiple occasions, I was told of that he was coming, whether it was that he's coming to Palm Beach or he's coming to stay at the island. In fact, when I was on the island, Jeffrey and Ghislaine both told me, like, oh, you're staying in the room that Bill likes. So if he comes, you might have to move from that room because that's the room he likes.
No, well, at least they said move.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Fucking weird joke, Jank. But yeah, like that's, I mean, she's saying it like secondhand, whatever, we don't, that's not like it's, she, and this happened, this was like recently, this was in the last, year or so. This is after Bill Clinton's book had came out. So he's not talking about Anushka there. But she's not saying she ever saw that he was on the island, but that Epstein and Ghislaine both said, oh, that's where Bill Clinton usually stays. Like, what? Like, I mean, I know Epstein lies all the time. And I know that he lies to, especially, like, he would lie about his relationship with Clinton, I believe, to these young girls in order to intimidate them. Oh, is it too loud? All right, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, gang, I'm trying to figure things out,
That is unbelievable.
Well, whatever. I don't need to play any more video, I don't think. Oh, actually, I will in a little bit. Oh, whatever. Okay, I'll adjust it later. But sorry, what was I talking about? I ain't know. Yeah, Anushka was still in contact with Epstein, like while he was in prison. She sent him some like photos of herself and stuff. They talked about that during the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, trying to like, what's it called? I don't know, discredit her, I guess, being like, well, you were still, you say he abused you from when you were underage. Well, how come you were still sending him like photos of yourself while he was in jail? And it's like, because she's an abuse victim, bro. What the fuck? This is your first day on planet Earth. But, oh, Sinners wins for best cinematography. Hang on now. Let's see. What did I put for that? I don't even remember. Best features, international feature documentary. Oh, okay. I got another loser on here. I thought that was one battle after another. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised, but pleasantly surprised. I love the cinematography of Sinners. I saw that one in IMAX. And they had like the kind of 2 different aspect ratios that for certain scenes it would be like, and it got big. Oh, that was so cool. God, and I'll never be able to have that experience without seeing it in a theater, but so worth it. Fuck, I should have watched Sinners again while it was out. What a fucking gem that was. But all right, I lost that one, but I'm not upset about it. I'm not mad about it. Anything else? But oh, totally. Like One Battle for Another was amazing. Although honestly, like, what's that one? Train Dreams. God, That one. Was that nominated for Best Cinematography even? Trains Dreams? It was. That one that might have had some of my favorite cinematography ever. There are some just beautiful shots in there. But no, I get it. Both One Battle After Another and fucking Sinners won Best Original Score. Did I get that one? Oh yeah, I got that one. Sorry, what was I just talking about? First woman to win Oscar. That's cool. Autumn Durald Arkapaw. That's wild. No woman has ever won Best Cinematographer. Consider that glass ceiling thoroughly broken. All right. Okay, that's enough about that. But okay, what were we talking about here? Yeah, I think we got it. And now there's I guess I'll go back to this. So we got the deposition the other day, which we talked about at length. But I don't actually think I went over this, where he talks specifically about going to the island. So let's watch that here. 5.
Virginia Giuffre, who has testified.
Virginia Giuffre? Virginia Giuffre. Come on now. You know this. Podcasts exist. You can figure out how it's pronounced.
Seeing you on the island with 2 young girls. Did this occur at all? Okay. Why do you think she would have made that claim?
Objection, speculation. He can't possibly.
Have you ever met her or any other Epstein associated underage girl?
That's all quiet.
Not to my knowledge.
In Epstein's 2016 deposition unsealed in the DOJ files, he refused to answer if you were accompanied by 2 young women who were approximately 18 years old on the island.
It's 17 years old. I think this is Nancy Mace. It's 17 years old, Nancy. Come on. Like, why would you upgrade the age? You're making him look better here.
Any such women potentially underage with you? I know you've stated that you were not there, but did you have any interaction with the said
Objection to the foundation of the question. He's already stated he was not on the island. You're now asking about a claim of the Fifth Amendment by Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
Yeah. Objection. The question is too hard, and if Clinton answers, it would look bad for him. Objection. Answering that question would cause my client to reveal himself as a pedophile. And did any of the questioners call Ghislaine? Oh, I'm 100% sure. 100% sure.
With this.
There's an I in there. You should know it's not Guthrie. According to witness Guthrie, this land is your land, this land is my land. Do you have any idea why he might have said that?
Staff be able.
If the witness doesn't know, the witness is welcome to say he doesn't know.
No, but he actually answered the question.
Yeah, he
when
answered
she
the
asked
question,
that
but
he wasn't on the island, so then she was asked.
Okay. Do you know an individual by the name of Sarah Rand?
All right, moving on. There's another part here at 2:07 where I think this is Bobert. I don't know. This is somebody. It's definitely somebody. I forget. They are reading around here.
Her. As has already been established, she has
this is Bobert.
stated in numerous sworn statements, including a sworn deposition in the deposition in the Maxwell
I thought it was Bobert because you're saying a lot, but no, I think it's somebody else. I don't know who it is.
trial, that she saw you on the island with Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, this morning, her family shared her diary with me. And in it is a quote wherein she writes, quote,
Wherein, like I was trying to use legal language here. Wherein and of heretofore, she wrote that there are the following prerequisites.
Bill Clinton met 2 times island with 2 girls, CT, GM, and JE. What is your reaction to that?
Oh, that's interesting too. Bill Clinton met 2 times island with the 2 girls, CT, GM, and JE. So CT, I don't know, but GM and JE, that's got to be Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein. Any guesses, guys? CT? Who do we know that's CT? Oh, wait a second. 2 girls. She said she said she had dinner. CT, GM, and JE. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure what that means because she's talked about this dinner she had, but I believe she's always just described it as herself, Ghislaine, Bill Clinton, Epstein, and these 2 girls. Anyway, but I don't know what CT. What could that be? Yeah. Oh my God, Chris Tucker. It could be. That could be, right? I mean, Chris Tucker was Bill Clinton's friend. And I think Chris Tucker did. He claimed he'd never been to the island. He claimed he'd never whatever. But I think he was emailing Epstein. Like, we have emails from him later on. Totally could be CT. Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not true.
Do you have any dates associated with that?
Oh, what's her name? Cheryl, was it? Cheryl Mills? She like interrupts because it seemed like he was about to say too much there. I don't know if she did that on purpose.
2 girls, CT, G, M, and JE. What is your reaction to that?
It's not true.
Do you have any dates associated with that? Were there dates on the diary?
I don't have that information, but we'll be happy to share it with you.
Would be terrific, because I think there are also records that would reflect where else he would have been. So thanks.
Did she say that in her book?
This is from her personal diary that her family shared with us.
But the book.
Dude, you should know this. Have you not read her book? Have you not read it?
More recently,
Come on,
did she
man.
say that in the book?
I can't, I'm just reading you the entry from her diary.
I don't think she mentions him in the book, if I'm not mistaken. There's another version of the book that she wrote earlier, the Billionaire Playboy Club, I think it's called. Billionaires Playboy Club, where she tells the story again. And is much more, it sounds much worse than the one that came out in Daily Mail.
That her family shared with me.
I think she ultimately reached a different conclusion, although I had no contact with her.
Okay, well.
Anyway, it goes on a little bit more, but you get the idea. No, I didn't go. No, I didn't go. Where did you hear that from? Don't worry, I can show you my personal records that have me meeting shit. Okay, now this is from one of the many goblin goblets. Are you in Ontario? I've seen 2 Protect Ontario ads so far. Not in Ontario. I'm in Quebec. What's Protect Ontario? What is that? Is that like a elbows up type thing or what? Ultimately reach a different conclusion as a threat. Yeah. I feel like if it was Chris Tucker, Virginia would remember it was him. Yeah, it's weird. She never mentioned him, I don't think. Let me just, before we get into this other thing, let me just real quick. Chris Tucker on here. Chris Tucker. All emails. Oh, browse all people. Let's browse people. Chris Tucker. What? No, come on. He's a people. Chris Tucker will be stopping by, this is 2013, to CJE sometime before his show tonight. Chris Tucker called to say he will be in New York, wondered if you could do dinner. Okay, maybe there's not, okay, maybe, yeah, I think this is what I was thinking from. Chris Tucker, he is here with his son right now. Thanks. Is that thanks? I think it's probably thanks. Chris's cell. Do we have any contact info for Chris Tucker? And this is in 2013. Yeah, they had all Chris Tucker's shit. Chris Tucker comes up even more times than I thought. 48 emails, although a lot of them are duplicates. Fucking Gmail is so scuffed sometimes. This one doesn't even have a year. It's just May 3rd, or what is it? Okay, 2020. So this is like after he died. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Chris Tucker, 8 out of 10 Tucker. Okay, I don't care. I decided I don't care. Anyway. Yes, Javier Bardem said free Palestine. Awesome. What a cool guy. Javier Bardem. And did I have that on my thing? Oh, damn. I said Timothy Chalamet would say free Palestine. Fuck. Damn it. Any other winners? Let me just double check real quick to my live updates page. Rare Oscars tie. Such a dream. No, it's not though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe people are good. Rob Reiner. Okay, no new winners. Like this picture of Christopher Poole is like Poole at RaffleCon 2. Awesome. Cool. All right. Where were we? We were talking about Bill Clinton. Okay, sorry. Back on the Bill Clinton shit. So okay, everybody knows this famous painting, Parsing Bill, hung up in Epstein's house in New York, just at the entrance to his fucking video camera monitoring setup, his blackmail correction room. But not a lot of people know, unless you watch this stream where I talk about it like every fucking week. Oh, this picture. Sentimental value. Oh, I didn't expect that one. I thought it was going to be Secret Agent. All right, I think I got one wrong. Gang. Okay, I was on a roll. I was doing too well. I had to get humbled. Where's my international section? It's annoying because I actually did watch Sentimental Value and I liked it. I haven't even seen Secret Agent. I just thought it would win. Wrong. Should be Sentimental Value. It was all right. Yeah, it was okay. Good. Okay. Moving on. As I was saying, everybody knows Parsing Bill, the famous picture of Bill Clinton. Not a lot of people know, unless you watch this stream where I talk about it every week. I think I said it the exact same way twice. Not a lot of people know about this little picture here, a framed note. What looks like a note. Now, just to catch you guys up to speed, if you're new around here, here's the note from Bill Clinton to Jeffrey Epstein in his birthday book. Here's the note on the wall. Very hard to read. Very tough to read. It's on 727 wallpaper, which we know Epstein did have. He had 727. This is from the raid on his Palm Beach house, somewhere that apparently Bill Clinton never went, but, looks like he could have, So 727 letterhead down here, number two on this list was one of the things that they found there. So it looks like this was like letterhead that Epstein had. Probably he had it on his 727, the Lolita Express, that Bill Clinton used for traveling. And I've always been wanting to know, what the fuck does this say? What does it say? Like, we have 3 pictures of it, each equally ill fucking legible, right? Really tough to read. But we do have this little snippet here. At some point, Mr. Clinton appears to have handwritten a note, that a thank you note to Mr. Epstein on stationery that Mr. Epstein kept on one of his planes. So that'd be 727. The Times obtained a photo of the undated note, which was framed and recovered from Mr. Epstein's estate. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. Hang on. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Okay. I'm so bad at multitasking. It's crazy. The Times obtained a photo of the undated note, which is framed and recovered from Mr. Epstein's estate. In it, the former president thanked the financier for letting him invade your private space. But explained he had that he had been exhausted and had to get away from the crowd. He also wrote that, as we forge ahead, I'll finally figure out the financial stuff. All right, so here's my work on this. All right, so here's the fucking note, and then I'm like, all right, I'm trying to like trace over it with the stuff that we got from that. I hadn't intended to invade your private space, but it was something, and I had to get away from the crowd. And like all of that lines up as far as I can see with like these blurry, letters. I hadn't intended, but you can sort of see like certain things like the like into the letter T that goes up, right? Like INT. And you can sort of see like right on that third, I hadn't intended, that third thing. And these are like quotes that we got directly from this, the article here. Hadn't intended to invade your private space, but it was, and I had to get away from the crowd. I think it said something about exhausted, right? Sorry, hang on. What did it say again? Exhausted and had to get away from the crowd. So I guess it would be, yeah, I can see that. This word here on the left, right before the and, exhausted, and I had to get away from the crowd. Thank you for long hyphen, and as we forge ahead, I'll finally figure out the financial stuff. Bill Clinton, right? Like you can see what I'm saying. You can see what I'm saying here, right? But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're right. You have to consider Bill Clinton's handwriting as ass. The birthday note is impossible to fully read as well. Yeah, it truly is. This is the note that we have like in pristine condition. What the hell does this say? It's refreshing, isn't it, to have lasted so long across all the years of learning and knowing, adventures and efforts, and still to have your childlike curiosity, the drive to make a difference, and the issue, this, oh, you know what? I think they do actually talk about this in the fucking deposition. The solace of friends. The solace of friends, I believe. But yeah, that was actually what I was just trying to find. I was like, what the fuck? When did they talk about that? Oh, jeez. Noted. God, where was it? Sorry, gang. I know I had this. Oh, did I write it down? I think I maybe wrote it down in my other one, my Clinton deposition canvas board. Yeah, would have been around here. Oh yeah, and was it Boebert? Yeah, 23000. Oh no, but I don't think that they. I can't quite remember. We learned a little bit more about that, about the note there, though. Solace. I'm gonna look for solace. So yes. Yeah. Okay, we'll watch this. This is kind of funny. Hopefully this isn't too much overkill stuff that we just went over. 1 second. Where were we? No. Image. Oh, right. Oh, wait. Oh, can I do it like this? Oh, yeah, look at that. So now I can actually show you, like, we can go right back and forth between my trace over and the thing. That's kind of a good way of looking at it. Sorry, no. Jeez, I'm so confused. What did I call the thing I was just looking at? I think I called it. Oh, it's called Untitled. That's why I couldn't find it. Yes. So deposition, and it's at 112:35.
That you could not.
Solace, you couldn't.
No, errors.
Errors.
Write the letter.
I don't remember.
Would Miss Maxwell have asked you?
I don't know. I think someone on my staff asked me.
Now, there's a word that our committee has not been able to identify, and in our defense, the Wall Street Journal has not been able to identify.
Imagine being on his staff.
Can you please read the letter for the record?
Yes. It's reassuring, isn't it, to have lasted so long across all the years of learning and knowing, adventures and errors, and still to have your childlike curiosity, the drive to make a difference, and the solace of friends. Not a bad letter.
And because we haven't been able to identify that word until now, what did you
Which
mean?
word was it that you could not?
Solace, you couldn't?
No, errors.
Errors.
Errors? Did he say errors?
What did I mean? Anybody who's lived 50 years and done anything has made mistakes as well.
I don't even think he said the word errors, did he? Errors. Where did he say errors? Reassuring, isn't it, to have lasted for so long across all the years of learning and knowing, adventures and... Oh, was that errors? Oh, I thought it was effort. But okay, errors. Adventures and errors. Okay, so like, what do you mean by that? Sorry, there is a part where they go more into this other one.
Done things.
But for the record, you weren't referring to errors in judgment that Mr. Epstein had related to his inappropriate activities involving you.
Absolutely not. I knew nothing about that.
Did you ever see the birthday book compiled together?
I don't think so.
And you mentioned previously you were friendly with Mr. Epstein.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so what I really wanted to play was at 2:30. This is where we talk more about this note. Don't worry, it's getting to a thing about the island. One sec. Potentially.
Well,
note.
And this is Boebert.
Other than the birthday
this
note
Boebert.
that was passed around here today for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, Mr. President, did you ever handwrite Jeffrey Epstein any other notes?
Well, I wouldn't remember, except that I've seen a picture recently of another note where I thank him for getting me away from the crowd on the airplane for a while so I could take a nap.
Yes.
Okay, getting him away from the crowd so I could take a note nap.
Okay, Mr. President, I just have two more questions for you, and then I will let you go. And again, I'm so... Yeah.
Getting me away from the crowd on another note where I thank him for getting me away from the crowd on the airplane for a while so I could take a nap.
Yes. Okay, Mr. President, I just have...
I guess that's all we hear from him. But yeah, that would be this note, right? Getting away from the crowd. Exhausted, had to get away from the crowd, invade your private space. Okay, so I guess we didn't really find anything else out there. But friend of the show put this into a, what's it called? AI, Claude. I'd like to try to recover what's written on a handwritten letter from a pretty low resolution photo. Share the photo with me. And then Claude goes, I can make out some structure. Go back and forth. And I think so here's what Claude ends up with multiple different versions of the photo where the user did some Photoshop work on it to try to make it clearer. Claude says, this is what Claude says. Jeff, I hadn't intended to invade your private space, but it was all beautiful and I was simply exhausted from the crowd. Thank you for letting me bring our episode to a most wonderful close, to drift/rest along the aisles/way. This understanding/friendship means a great deal. As we forge ahead, I'll finally figure out the financial stuff. Bill. And then the AI proposed reading. Thank you for letting me bring our episode to a most wonderful close, to drift along the aisles. This understanding means a great deal. Isles, ISLES, which is not an island, I guess, technically. But I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Oh, wait, what am I? Oh. Anyway, I thought that was sort of interesting. But when I went back there, I got to admit, I tried to sort of fit this thing, and I don't really think it works. I think this missing chunk here is still kind of a mystery. But anyway, it might say something about the island. I don't know. But I think Claude maybe got a little bit ahead of itself there. When I actually sat down and looked at it, after I had already decided I was going to talk about this on stream, then I realized, well, actually, maybe this isn't as stone cold proof as I thought it was. But, it would be cool if AI could help us out with stuff like this. I would encourage that use of AI. Yeah. Did he take a boat ride with Jeff? I mean, I don't, as far as we know, I don't think so. Possible he took a boat ride in one of the places they went to, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. He's a rich guy, like on vacation, right? I'm surprised Bill's an Apple Watch guy. That's all I needed to see. Convict his ass. Yeah. Come on. Fitbits only. He's definitely referring to LSJ if it says Isles. You think? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be. In the Isles, from the time they met at the library. First time they'd been together outside of school. Yeah. Outside of the high school that they both hung out at when they were in their 50s. Anyway, gang, so that's it. Like, I mean, I could have gone more into like all the different times that Virginia Giuffre reiterated the same story, but you get the idea, I think, with just one. We've got like, 4 solid sources, 3 firsthand, 1 secondhand, putting him on the island. I guess Doug Band, I don't know if he counts as first or secondhand because he didn't go there. But he just knows that Bill went because he was his like assistant. And he was like, "Don't go," and Bill was like, "I'm gonna go." And then on the other hand, looking at both sides here, we also have Bill Clinton repeatedly just saying, "No, I never did that." And here's all the Secret Service's calendar, from back in the day when this apparently happened. And then also, I'm just gonna lie about the testimony of a woman who just died. So how's she going to ever call me out on that shit? And I'm not going to say her name, but it could only be her that I'm talking about. Because at that point in time, only 3 people talked about it, and there was only 1 woman, Virginia, plus the other context clues. So I don't know. I got to say, overall, I kind of think he was there. I kind of think Bill Clinton was on the island. That's what I'm kind of think. All right. Yeah, New York Times should release a photo for sure. Yeah. I'd love to see everything about what Bill was up to January 2003. Yeah, I guess has that come out in the public whatever file releases because apparently Bill, like the Secret Service showed their records, but I don't know if we've ever seen them. Sometimes some of this shit just gets like they'll be like, we officially gave it to the Daily Mail or whatever, but like we never get to see it. We get to read the Daily Mail's reporting on it or the New York Times reporting on it, but we don't get to see it ourselves. And I find that unacceptable, honestly, at this point. At this point, Epstein files belong to the public. Yes, Michael B. Jordan wins for Best Lead Actor. Yeah. Which role did he win it for? Yeah. Smoke or stack? Smoke or stack? Because if it's stack, that's bullshit. Smoke all the way. No, just kidding. I don't even remember which one's which, to be honest. But yes, that's another win for the Goblin. Another Gob win. What was it? Best Actor. Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Hell yeah. Cool. They love to drag it out at this point, yeah? Oh, did Avatar get announced for Best Visual Effects yet? Did it get announced as if I already know? No to War and Free Palestine, Javier Bardem said. Yeah. Oh, great question, Jonathan Powers. Did the Clintons frequent Zorro Ranch? And also thank you for the $4.99. I can't say. I don't know. Sorry, hang on. I'll answer your question in just 1 second. But I also just need to say I called this one PTA wins Oscar for Best Directing. That one I felt like was a pretty sure thing. He's due, right? He hasn't won before. And he deserves an Oscar. He's one of the best. He's one of the greats. For that movie, I wouldn't probably have given it to him for that one, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like fucking yeah, there's a lot of strong contenders in this category. But we'll see if he gets Best Picture as well. Anything else? Okay, so far, not. Michael Jordan's the worst actor of all time, Space Jam, yeah. Imagine how many people out there are like, Michael Jordan won? What? he wins everything. One battle after another for editing. Honestly, that one they do deserve. The editing during like that final chase sequence, pretty hard to deny. One battle after another, that's a check. And was it F1 for sound? I knew a car movie would win. I haven't even seen that one, but I just imagine there's a lot of, you know. I figure that's what it's kind of like to watch. So okay, yes, Zorro Ranch. Yeah, I can talk about this. I don't have anything necessarily ready, but I can tell you off the top of my head, there was a guy who did a bunch of research, just like a random dude with a podcast, and he went to New Mexico, hung around Zorro Ranch in like that area, whatever, that town, and talked to a bunch of people there, and he found a bunch of people who refused to go on the record, but he found a bunch of people who said that they saw Bill Clinton at the ranch or like in town or getting off a plane or at the airport or whatever. But none of them went on the record. So it's just him being like, and I heard this. And I remember listening to this episode and being like, you didn't record any of them? Or like, I guess people didn't feel comfortable getting recorded. But unfortunately, I cannot say that I don't know. I can't really call it a, what do you call it? Like a good evidence? It's very, you're taking the word of one guy. But then there was also a contractor. Let me see if I can find this. Zorro Ranch contractor, Bill Clinton. The contractor who did go on the record. The Clinton Foundation timeline. Awesome. So this is from Daily Mail. When's this from? 2019. Bill Clinton was Jeffrey Epstein's closest celebrity mate and a frequent guest at his New Mexico ranch with wife Hillary, staying at the pedophile's cowboy-themed village, say estate workers. I mean, I don't know. This seems like a little over the top. His closest friend? That certainly doesn't seem to be the case. Chomsky was a closer friend than Bill Clinton, as far as I can tell. But according to, so it says here, say estate workers. Like, that makes it sound like they interviewed like a ton of people who used to work at Zorro Ranch. But okay, according to a former contractor who ran the IT system. Oh, so same with Scully at the island. He was his IT guy. They bunked down. This is horrible journalism, by the way this is written. Yeah, this is all according to security expert Jared Kellogg, who was brought in by longstanding ranch manager Bryce Gordon to improve security and set up a camera system at the main house in Cowboy Village. Already crazy. Here's a little overhead flyover, I guess, of Zorro Ranch here. This feels very Les Wexner to me. That weird little fucking garden thing. Anyway, I just mean like a kind of that same kind of vibe as Les Wexner's place in Ohio. When contacted by Daily Mail for comment, Bill Clinton's press office referred us to the statement. Okay, again, like I said, they just kept pumping out that same statement over and over again. Kellogg said at the time of his site walk, so he goes there to like hear about the job. I'm not even sure if he ever actually did it. But yes, this is what I heard. Kellogg said at the time of his site walk at Epstein's property, he had barely any knowledge of Epstein's reputation, but he said Gordon spent most of the time boasting about the Clintons' frequent appearance at the estate. And like, see, this is different, right? So this is what I thought. Like the way that the title is written. Bill Clinton was Epstein's closest friend and a frequent guest at his New Mexico ranch, say estate workers. But then you read the article and it's like, well, we talked to one guy who never saw him there, but he heard it from another guy. So this is according to estate workers. So according to one estate worker, there was another estate worker who said this. But, it's all That's not the way that you should write headlines. Kind of infuriating, to be honest. God, still looking for this here. Kellogg said he was stopped from going to certain areas, did briefly go into an underground section. He told Daily Mail Epstein built a secret basement strip club. My access was very controlled. During the site walk, it was dictated where I could and couldn't go. There were certain facilities I wasn't allowed to go in, which was odd as they were boarded up. And they looked like they could have big parties in them, but I didn't much think of it. Or I didn't think much of it. They wanted to put in very, very limited camera coverage on the main house itself. I was going to put up a couple of cameras on the exterior of the main entrance. At the main entrance, there's a downward slope at the back that goes into the basement. I was able to briefly go in. There's a long hallway to a big foyer. That was about it. The 2 guest houses I was not permitted to go into. And then we've got some photos here of the party shower in the at Zorro Ranch, where there's like a 8-person shower with 4 shelves full of toiletries and oils. Is this really an 8-person shower? Because I only see one, like, what do you call that? Nozzle. Oh, I guess 2. I don't know. Maybe the one on the roof is multiple and can just spray out to a bunch of people. Staircase, underground pool, is it? Or no, not underground. Looks like there's natural light coming in from the side, but okay. Due to security reasons, I wasn't even permitted to put a camera location on the drawing that we would then have on our records. Oh, that's interesting. What is odd is that as a security professional, for me to give the best protection I can give a customer, I need the full layout. I need to see the nooks and crannies, all the blind spots. They were limiting that access. The staff lived in one house. The saloon bar is in the center of the village. Like it's all set up like an old West town. Epstein and his friends could pretend to be cowboys. But it's just one guy, right? Yeah, so stupid the way this is fucking written. Yeah, there's only one guy. So again, like this guy didn't even see him. This is just a guy who's heard that he was there for another guy. You know, with him on the island, we have Virginia and Steve Scully, the IT guy, say, I saw Bill Clinton there. I directly saw him there. And we have Doug Band and Anushka saying, I heard he was there. You know? And then with this, it's just like, nobody actually saw him. Everybody's like, I heard from a friend of a friend. Oh, you take my word for it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to believe here, but that's what we. Oh yeah, Coop's video on Zorro goes over a lot of this. I think he interviews one of the people who have looked into Zorro. Oh, interesting. Yeah, sounds like a solid Coop video. To be honest. Objection, hearsay. Oh, Jessie Buckley. Nice. She deserves it. There was a lot of Jessie Buckley wins for Hamnet. Yes, there was, that's another check mark for me, most importantly. But yeah, she did a lot of close-up camera, crying. Michael B. Jordan, pinned. Paul Thomas Anderson. I guess, oh man. See, we're getting the news even quicker here than we are on the official HuffPost live update feed. Weird that this one's pinned, right? Why would this one be pinned? Did Avatar win? I'm a little confused that I haven't seen that on HuffPo. Avatar effects Oscar could make Oscar picture. Oh yeah. Okay. So somebody said this earlier and I didn't believe them because it wasn't on HuffPo. But yeah, looks like Avatar won for special effects. I'm gonna give myself another check off. Avatar. I mean, that one was kind of easy to guess. Guys, I'm not doing bad. I only got 3 wrong. That is good. This is one of my best years ever, and I didn't even fucking watch most of these movies. I'm kind of maybe I'm kind of lucky. I don't know. There's ways to really win. If you wanna crush your friends at like an Oscars pool, just look at all the other like award ceremonies, the BAFTAs, the fucking, Golden Globes, whatever. Everything leading up to the Oscars, and see who won those, and get a sense for what the Academy likes. And then, I don't know, when it comes to writing this, just go with your gut, I guess, for some of the more complicated ones. The big ones are the Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Actor. Those are sometimes the easiest ones to predict. Best Supporting Actor, same sort of logic. But yeah, it's hard to know. Sinners is doing well though. Best Original Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Score. Sinners is doing really well. I mean, obviously it would. Most nominated movie ever. Yeah, I don't know. Golden one for Best Original Song. Nice. I had that one too. Golden. Chick Ching. And what was this one? The Anti-Putin movie? Which one was that? All the Empty Rooms? Or something else. Hopefully it was All the Empty Rooms. Oh, sorry, no, that's documentary short. You mean Best Documentary? Right. What did I put? The Perfect Neighbor. Oh, so is Mr. Nobody against Putin? Okay. Another one wrong. Mr. Nobody. No. Went to some nobody. All right. Okay. So we're almost at the end, eh? We're almost right at the very end of the night. Wow. Short Oscars, I feel like. Short Oscars. Okay. Pause on the Oscar stuff for now. Okay, this is something I really get. I'm not looking forward to this at all. But I feel like I should talk about this. This is the fucking... I don't want to say... I don't know. Maybe I should preface this a little bit. I'm being serious. I know it sounds like... Because it's hard to know when I'm joking, because I have like a tone of voice that I don't take anything seriously, but like I am serious. I'm not looking forward to this. But I've had people have been kind of like DMing me and stuff over the last little while. And this is not something that I normally would like to do, that I would enjoy talking about, but I feel like I should. So I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to try to not to be super annoying about it, but I feel like I have to. I don't like drama. Okay, I know everybody says that, and they secretly do like drama, but I actually don't like drama. But I gotta say some shit about Flesh Simulator, who I have previously on this stream praised, even though I have always kind of said, like, I don't really agree with him. I think he's wrong about a lot of stuff, like I don't think he's the best researcher, but I enjoyed his videos. I've recommended his channel to people. Like, I'm like, he's fun. He's more pilled than me, but blah, blah, blah. He was big on the Epstein's a cannibal because he saw this picture of a bunch of porterhouse steaks in the Epstein files, and he goes, yeah, that is straight up human meat. Evidence? Here's a fucking human meat diagram and anatomy. And it's just like, I don't think you can tell that, dude. I don't think you know. Flesh Simulator you are? Well, you're not Flesh Identifier. I don't think you know this shit. I don't think you know that much about meat. It's like I don't think he's a super good researcher, but I think he made entertaining videos that overall I thought were good. But I gotta say, I don't know. Let me show you a couple of other examples of this. This is a great tweet from Tanner Boyle from Getting Spooked from back in 2025, calling him out for talking about remote viewing the idea that the CIA would like get people to psychics to like, all right, we've got like, there's a secret base over there. Tell us what's inside of it. And the remote viewers would be like, okay, there's a hallway and there's a, looks like a filing cabinet that says, do not open, dissident, overthrow the government plans inside. And then they're like, okay, what's in there? Oh, I see a bunch of folders. And then this one says, Antifa will attack, and like, so Flesh Simulator is like, yeah, he's complaining about Wikipedia editors being like, they're so stupid. They're only 115 IQ, which is actually smart. It's actually above average IQ, but apparently that's midwit to him, because they still are listing remote viewing as a pseudoscientific hoax, even after CIA declassified thousands of pages of documents saying, yeah, this shit is straight up explicitly real. Now, I don't know. I feel like that's a silly way of looking at it. Tanner Boyle goes, boy, I sure hope this guy hasn't made a career out of examining intelligence operations and PSYOPs, which remote viewing is a prime example of. No Wikipedia editor will tell you that remote viewing is intelligence laundering. Yeah, I mean, like, I think the kind of generally accepted, much more true way to look at this is that, like, the CIA was probably looking for a way to be like, let's say we did some illegal shit to find out what was in this base. Is there a way that we can, like, get these psychics to just, like, tell us, to be like, so that we don't have to admit where we got the evidence from? Evidence laundering, right? Does that make sense? But Flesh Simulator is like, no, I believe in magic. No, magic's real. And I think you guys are dumb if you're a 115 IQ midwit if you don't believe that wizards are real. So, the guy's been pilled for a while. And not a great researcher. I will also point out, Flesh Simulator's the main video that blew everyone's mind, serial killing for fun and profit, is just a complete like ripoff of the book Eye of the Chicken Hawk. That is the only source in this entire video. When he talks, like, I forget if he talks about it in the video, if I just saw him saying this on Twitter, but just like, oh, so much research on this. But if you go and look at his sources in the thing, it still says, under construction. It is labor intensive to do it this way. In the meantime, all sources relied upon can be found reading Simon Dovey's excellent book, Eye of the Chicken Hawk, with all sources indexed. He's like, yeah, I used all the sources from that book, that book used. And it's like, okay. Or if you're looking for a primary source, pulled from the FBI FOIA archives of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look it up on the FOIA website. This information is out there, not particularly hard to find, so please bear with me while I compile it in an easy-to-digest manner for your bad faith debunking needs. Or go do even the slightest amount of your own legwork and print out and read the FOIA documents yourself. There aren't that many. The Ames file is about 100 pages. The Sheldon file is about 30. The Paskey file is about 70. And by far the most, I guarantee you, he did not read any of these. And by far the most packed with info. And the Gacy file is about 300 pages due to the amount of court transcripts. Yeah, I don't know. I still find this really funny. That this video is like 2 years old or something. Yeah, like 1.5 years old or whatever. And he still is like, I will update this with my sources once I figure out what those theoretically were. And it's just so aggressive. Please bear with me while I compile it in an easy-to-digest manner for your bad faith debunking needs, or go do even the slightest amount of your own legwork. It's like, chill out, dude. Like, I was just looking to see where you got this information from. But yeah, it's all from one book. Like that, all of these words, all of that is to say, I read one book and made this video, which admittedly looks cool. Like, this looks like a thumbnail. This is the video. Like, this is how it looks.
This documentary is the result of more.
It looks cool. I gotta admit, my videos don't look this cool. I got a bunch of drawings and shit in them, but just like the vibe, the aesthetic, like, this is cool. I get why people like his videos. I like his videos. So okay, I don't know. Sorry, is this even relevant to what I'm getting to? Probably not. But like, basically, like I for a long time I've been kind of like, he's wrong about almost everything, but whatever. He's fun. He's silly. Whatever. I don't think he's super terrible. Plus, I think I at one time had a a larger overlap in audience with him than I do now, so I didn't want to be like, the guys you like are bad. But anyway, okay, fuck. Now, lately, and okay, so again with internet drama, whatever, reading Twitter threads, I've been doing that a lot on this stream, which I don't do very often, which is probably good, probably healthy that I'm not like, it's like I'm at a party holding up my phone, read these tweets, oh my God. I don't know if this is entertaining for you guys, but like, oh, is it loud? Oh, okay. He had Blinkist read it for him, yeah. So I'm realizing that I missed a lot of like warning signs with him, but I have seen him. This is from a little while back. This is from like a couple weeks ago. I should have talked, February 13th. I probably should have talked about this like a month ago when this happened, but I just haven't been. Because like, honestly, okay. How do I get into this? Excuse me. He had like a sort of, I don't know what to call it, a moment on Twitter, like a couple days where he was talking about leaving the left, because he's always been like, I'm a leftist. I agree with the left, and he's kind of been like edgy, like lefty guy, and I guess he's sort of like from a month ago or so, he's been like, I'm actually not on the left anymore. I'm not on the left, and so here's a tweet that I read from him that I actually kind of agree with some of what he's saying here. I think I have like an unpopular opinion about the way the left can treat people, I guess, like online, the online left. So, okay, I'll just read what this one says. And it's responding to a tweet that says, it's insane how much he enables a far-right audience. Makes sense given it makes him so much money and keeps him in good graces with the $1 Million Extreme crowd. Sam Hyde's channel that he released a documentary on. He goes, it's actually not insane at all. See, I became much more willing to hear out my far-right fans in good faith when I noticed that somehow none of them ever took part in a coordinated harassment campaign against my family. Like, that's awful that people would do such a thing to somebody. That's awful. And I know that the people on the left do this sort of thing. Like, they coordinated harassment campaigns. Unfortunately, that is a thing that I wish people did not do, because it truly is an awful thing to experience. Despite our political differences, the average reaction to this from literal Nazis towards our left-wing Jew, talking about himself, was, good Lord, that's horrible. That's absolutely beyond the pale. Meanwhile, the average lefty reaction was, oh, does the crypto-fascist feel bad that he's hurting his family like this? Maybe you should stop posting. It's clearly breaking your brain. Or, so what? What are you going to do? Just give up on identifying as a leftist just because other leftists are constantly maliciously trying to get you to relapse? Relapse because he had an addiction to something or other. Falsely accusing you of crimes, doxing you, calling the employers of your family members to try to get them fired. Suck it up, you baby. What are we going to do? Tell people to stop? And like, honestly, like when I read this, I was like pretty much like completely on board with what he was saying here, kind of. Although I do think it sucks when the left is mad at you, but it does make you a little bit weak-minded to change your political positions just because leftists are mean to you. I do think, but I'm like overall, I'm like, yeah, it's true. And like people kind of get mad when you point this out. But this is generally true. That's my opinion. Okay? The left needs to chill. When I read this tweet, but when I went down the tweet hole here and I saw like what this was about, I was like, oh God, this is fucking brutal. Okay, so I'll read this. It's funny to think that a year ago today, I was more or less orthodox lefty F-slur who respected the same taboos and sacred cows that everyone else did and repeated all right, I sort of get what he's saying here. This is where it goes off the rails for me. And repeated the party line about Zimbabwe being an upgrade or whatever the fuck obvious bullshit. So I don't know if there's any history buffs out in the crowd, but this is Zimbabwe. The country Zimbabwe was once Rhodesia, a apartheid, like white supremacist, ethno state that was eventually turned into Zimbabwe. And the way he's phrasing this is that it is obviously true that Zimbabwe was better off when it was run by white supremacists, which is like that. Like, I mean, and I know he likes to make edgy jokes and stuff. Like some stuff I can write off as as an edgy joke, but what, like, that's not a joke. That's just kind of, I mean, maybe I don't get it. Maybe I don't get it, but that's just racist. That's just racist. That's so fucked up. Yeah, the fact that someone is putting enough planning to successfully rush the field at Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about here. This just seems stupid. I don't know what that is. And now, so he's saying, like, it's funny to think, year ago today, I was more or less orthodox leftist, and now you've got Chud Simulator exposing normies to crime statistics and theory crafting ways to make mail theft a capital crime. So crime statistics, that's like the whatever white supremacist dog whistle about crime stats. I don't even remember what the actual percentages are, but it's like 18% of the population commits 60% of the crime or something like that. It's like black people, they're not that many of them, but they commit all the crime. And it's like, that is just a reactionary and stupid way of looking at the world. This community that is incredibly over-policed and given these like long prison sentences and, you know, kept away from generational wealth and, you know, in a multitude of ways held back largely through the, what's it called, carceral system, the new Jim Crow, as what's her name, Michelle Alexander, I think, calls it. And like, this is just racist. And as far as I can see, Flesh Simulator is supposed to be the guy who's going out and telling you, you gotta see through the fucking matrix. You gotta look into what they're fucking trying to get you to think. And he's falling for the fucking like original psyop to be that like racism is a tool to divide the working class against its own interests. And it's always been that. That's always what it's been. So it was made to stop fucking, what do you call them? Indentured servants or whatever, like white people working alongside of African slaves to stop them from rising up together, to be like, well, actually, have you heard about this new thing called whiteness? Oh yeah, you're going to love this. Like, this is dumb shit, you know? This is like the type of shit that somebody who posts about the fucking, you know, remote viewing, who falls for this bullshit. It's kind of along the same lines. And like, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I got to be done with this guy. This guy is fucking stupid and racist. I mean, fuck it. Who cares if he's stupid? Who cares if he's stupid? Stupid people. Some of my best friends are stupid people. I got no issue with that. I didn't really mind when he was getting shit wrong, but this is so fucking reactionary, racist. It's bullshit. And, you know, like, translation, some people made mean tweets about me, so now I quote FBI crime stats. It's insane how much he enables a far-right audience. So, like, now seeing more of the context here, when I come back to this one, I'm like, oh, God. Like, fuck. I hate that he was able to rephrase what he had said in this way that speaks to me and my own kind of, you know, personal opinions about the way that the online left conducts itself. Like, I do think, not to make it, this isn't maybe the time to go into this whole theory, but I do think that like a lot of the way that the left treats one another was taught to us by like Nazis during Gamergate. I think it all goes back to Gamergate. With Gamergate, people would gang up on people, send like coordinated harassment mobs after people. That was like the first time that was really done at such a big scale. I mean, 4chan had been doing that since forever, but then it became like a thing. This is how we attack. And at some point, leftists were like, yeah, that's how we attack our own. Okay, we'll do that too. And then we just do that to ourselves now. So I was like reading this, I was like, ah, yeah, true. I'm glad somebody's saying it. And then when I actually read what he'd been saying, and this wasn't even it either. What else was there? So comment on this thread. It's from a month ago. To me, this suggests you probably were never on board in the first place more than anything, right? That does seem to be, that's what I get from it too. I was 90% on board and paid lip service to the most egregious 10%, George Floyd, etc. in the name of social pressure. What the fuck do you mean? The most egregious? George Floyd. Wouldn't really say George Floyd was egregious. And then he goes, the body cam footage that was withheld from the public literally shows him holding a pressed oxy in his mouth, starting to say, I can't breathe, while the cops are still like getting him water and shit while he's sitting upright. And then Chauvin visibly and clearly kneeling between his shoulder blades, not his neck. It was never shown to the public at the time because it fully ran counter to the narrative of what happened. And even now, you're still not supposed to say anything about it. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? This is not what, like, again, right? Going back to the fucking serial killing thing, does not post his sources, just sort of says something insane. It says something where it sort of seems like you fried your brain by scrolling the worst fucking X feed imaginable 9 hours a day for the past like 3 years, or 6 years or whatever, since 2020. This is only something you would believe if you were during 2020, you were watching, like, I don't even know. Like, you ever like meet someone or hear somebody talk about shit and they're like, well, black people are like attacking whites all the time. Like every day I see, like, I remember Scott Adams from Dilbert was like, I see it on my feed every day. Black guys attacking white women. It always, and it's just like, dude, that's your fucking algorithm, dude. That does not represent reality. And this is the vibe I get from this guy. He doesn't post anything. And then when somebody else is like, no, that's the autopsy shows he died from trauma to the neck. Please show me in the autopsy where it says that. Bro, you first, man. You just said the video clearly shows this. And you're asking other people for sources? It's on you, man. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I don't know. And I don't know. So I want to just say out of the gate, I don't fuck with this guy anymore. I don't recommend that you watch his page. Whatever. I think he sucks. I mean, I can no longer in good conscience say that he's a little bit more pilled than me, but he's fun. I think he actually is bad. But I gotta also say, I mean, there's more stuff I could go over from like a month ago that I think is stupid as fuck. But I will also say he seems to have recently, in the past few days, he's gotten, I don't know, he's gotten worse in a way that I think he's actually having like a mental break, and in a way that I genuinely feel like bad dunking on him during this time in his life, because it just doesn't seem like he's like, oh God. So I'm going to restrain myself a little bit here, because I really feel like I could easily just kind of watch through this whole 15-minute video and just kind of dunk on it and stuff. But I actually think there's something going on with him. Like he's not having a good time. He's not, I don't know. Like he's off his meds or something. And it just doesn't feel right making fun of him. That said, I gotta admit, this is kind of, it's a little bit funny. So this is a video that he put up, the Izzat nuke. The Izzat nuke. Here we go. I'll play a little bit.
Hello.
All right. Covered in blood. Really brings out the color of his eyes, actually. But, okay.
My name is Thomas Gant. Yep, actually, that's my real name. Not actually Flesh Simulator. Now, you might look at me standing in front of you right here and have some questions. Namely, why are you telling us your name? Don't you want to keep that private? Well, I sure would have loved to do that. But unfortunately...
And so again, like, I do think, like, people have been fucked up. Like, I mean, like, I haven't for my own fucking sake, I have not gone deep into what's been going on. But if the things he's saying are true, that people have been doxing his family and shit and harassing his whatever family and friends and whatever, trying to get them fired, that's fucked up. Don't do that shit. That's evil. You know, don't do Gamergate. We don't got to do that shit. I think that's bad. That said, that does not excuse these things he's saying that seem to imply he's just always been extremely racist. And now he's just decided to also be right-wing economically.
Fortunately, a very, very unlucky individual went on a doxing campaign against me after he tried to intimidate me, after being given by name, presumably by someone who knew me.
So, all right, I'm not gonna play the whole video, but he's basically, what he's doing here is he's doing this he's trying to be like a, I don't know how to describe it, like an anime villain, I guess. He's being very like, you've made a real mistake coming after me, and now I have no choice but to crush you like a bug. I believe there is a part where he literally says crush you like a bug. Maybe I'll just skip to that. Bug. There we go.
Going after my family is something for which mere obliteration will no longer suffice. While I could have squashed Noah like a bug there and then, I instead chose to...
I gotta laugh, I gotta laugh. Going after my family is something for which mere obliteration will no longer suffice. I also think it's very hard to take someone seriously when they're trying to act gangster and they're clearly reading off of a teleprompter. You can see his eyes moving.
Will no longer suffice. While I could have squashed Noah like a bug there and then, I instead chose to act like a wounded antelope.
It's like, you gotta speak from the heart, man. Throw the cue cards away. You cover your face in blood, and then you set up your teleprompter and turned on your fucking... You've got your like remote in the other hand. I don't know. I find that really funny. And I'm sorry, because I do think he's going through a difficult time. I honestly did watch this. I watched this once by myself, and then I watched it with Goblin Queen. And I still don't really know what he's talking about. Like I said, I haven't followed the drama. Also, like, if you're ever being canceled, the worst, if you're being canceled on Twitter, do not bring that drama to YouTube or whatever other platform you're on yourself. Huge tactical error, because most people watching YouTube don't know about this shit you're going through. I know it seems really hard for you at the time, but you don't need to make it bigger. This will only make things worse. Like, it's anyone could have told him, if, you know, people were looking out for him, not to do this. But I don't know. It's so weird. I think he green screened himself at one point into a photo of like one of the guys he's mad at, like in their house. I think that maybe it's this part. I didn't quite understand. He keeps talking about, listen, Noah. All right, listen, Jake from Chinatown. And well, by the way, he keeps naming people from Twitter. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. Why are you giving them fucking oxygen? Why are you just pointing people in the direction of the shit they're saying about you? Like, don't do that. And I still don't really know what the fuck his issue is. Seems like people doxed him. Don't do that. Like I said, I completely disavow that behavior. Absolutely awful. But his big thing here, he's like, I'm gonna go old boy mode on you. I don't really want to look at it. Oh, he's also really mad at Hassan Piker, I guess, or one of the guys works for Hassan, is like an editor or something, and so he bought the domain HassanPiker.live. All right, and if you go there, it says Noah Strickler, which I guess is another one of these guys that he doesn't like, has cost Hassan Piker $209,435 ISAT, which is I believe some kind of Hindu concept of, like, is it like karma or something, or like honor? So I don't know. He's trying to like tell on Noah Strickler to Hassan. And I think the idea is if you go to this page, then you've decided you're not going to watch Hassan anymore. But I don't think there's a lot of people who are still big fans of Flesh Simulator who also watch a lot of Hassan who are going to be like, oh, okay, all right, Flesh Simulator, thanks for uploading your fucking latest Synapse misfire. I will now stop unsubscribe from Hassan. And yeah, I don't know. Again, I might have some of that shit wrong. Okay, here, I think this part, he sort of explains it. Yeah. Allow me to explain the premise. Again, he's talking like an anime villain.
Noah, no tears. I have built a monument to your failures. It is the website in the description of this video. Allow me to explain the premise. It's just a simple click-through counter. If this video made you like Hassan and his orbiters and this general community less than you did before, click the link. It will subtract 1 Izot from Hassan Piker, and it will let everyone know who did it. As this number increases, you get to see in real time the number of people that you have turned away from your own movement.
Okay, so that is what he's doing. He's trying to say, like, yes, and as we go, the number goes up. All these people will never watch Hassan again. And it's like, well, I went to the site just to see what the fuck you were talking about. And, like, I mean, I don't really watch Hassan, to be honest, but, like, if I did, I would not stop. You know, like, I just, like, it doesn't make sense. And I'm sort of maybe, like, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he means this to be a joke, and he's doing it on purpose to be kind of cringe and weird, but it doesn't seem like it. Seems like he's genuinely, I don't know. But yeah, so he's got the blood on his face and stuff, and then so the next part he's like,
and now I'm like, I don't need to do the green screen thing anymore, so I'm gonna go wash all this fucking shit off my face. Okay. Whew.
You don't need to have blood all over your face to do green screen, Flesh Simulator. You can do green screen. You just don't want to wear green. You don't need to be red. Anyway, very cringe. And so far, like, honestly, I'm like, I guess I can't help myself. I really don't like to dunk on people who are going through a hard time, but I gotta admit it is pretty funny. But let me show you. There's another part of this. I should have had this. Oh, okay. You know what? I guess I can just play it from here. So he's going to this is his, and I don't think I'm misconstruing him or taking him out of context here when I say this is sort of Flesh Simulator's like why I left the left movement, or not movement, video. And so I'll just let it roll for a little bit.
That feels much better. Funny stuff aside, so have you ever wondered how so many people can have the seemingly impossible and nonsensical sounding experience of switching from left wing to right wing without really changing any of their positions or their beliefs? Well, there's...
I mean, yeah, okay. And I'm going to try and take this. I'm going to try and like not make fun of him here or whatever. Have you ever noticed how so many people have had the seemingly impossible experience of going from left wing to right wing without changing any of their beliefs? I don't think that can really happen. I mean, maybe if people were like incorrectly assuming they were left wing. Although, you know, okay, to steelman the argument here, I do think that left and right, while it is a surprisingly robust model of politics, it does not cover everything. You know, at different points in time, the right wing has been pro-environment, you know, the left wing has been anti-vaccine, or maybe not the entire right wing or left wing, but people who are on these movements. We contain multitudes, you know. We are big on the inside. We're complex people who is difficult to boil down into a simple spectrum, okay, or even a matrix grid, right, or even a fucking cube political compass, whatever that would be. It's hard to do that, and I sort of look at the left and right myself as being like the right is about maintaining hierarchies and strengthening hierarchies that we already have, adding new hierarchies wherever possible. Like in the case of neoliberalism, where this is a new type of hierarchy that didn't exist before. And it was a very right-wing thing to do, to add this kind of new concept into reality. The left wing is about reducing hierarchies, increasing equality, like against, in the same way that it's against economic hierarchy and class dissolution, redistribution of wealth, whatever. It's also against racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, all the woke stuff. I know it would really upset, some people are kind of allergic to like, that's woke, and they just don't like it because it's woke. But like, yeah, it's good. It's woke. It's good to be woke. It's good to be like awake. If you're a conspiracy theory guy, if you're Flesh Simulator talking about whatever, like getting up from the Matrix or whatever, I don't know. You should have a better argument against wokeness than just, oh, that's cringe. Oh, because it's woke, I don't like it. So anyway, sorry, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But he's saying that have you ever noticed how so many people have had this experience? How could that be possible? Well, there's a mechanism for that. And I mean, like, I think that with Flesh Simulator, his thing was, he was economically left-wing in some way, but he hates black people, and whatever, probably other people too, but certainly black people. And I think for him, he's like, how did I become right-wing and I didn't change any of my views? And it's like, I think that what happened was you realized that you weren't left-wing. You can't just, I don't know. God, whatever. Okay, I'll let him talk.
There's a mechanism for that, all right? You know that. We all do. It keeps happening to people. The bigger question, though, is how. And a lot of people act like it.
I have heard that before, but it's mostly from like Elon Musk or somebody like that. Like, I guess maybe people have the experience where like they're on the left and then they say something on their Facebook page or something like that. And most people are not like content creators, right? Like Flesh Simulator. They tweet something and they get like dogpiled, which again, I don't think is a good thing to do. I don't think that's right. I don't think anybody deserves to have that experience, even if they say something problematic. I think we should be more forgiving of people who step out of, the party line or whatever we want to call it. But also, to acknowledge my privilege, I don't have, as a white cis straight man, blah blah blah. It doesn't seem as serious to me. I understand people not wanting to be in community with somebody who's saying things like that, but I think there's a middle ground where the shit that did happen with Flesh Simulator, I think was genuinely fucked up. Doxing and stuff like that. But anyway, okay, I'll let him talk for a second. I'm talking too much.
It's really because they stayed the same and the left simply got more radical. In my opinion, however, this isn't really quite what's happening. It has more to do with people's changing understandings of group cohesion. Right? So it's kind of a basic principle of pop psychology, a phenomenon that's pretty self-evidently a thing, but is remarkably hard to empirically prove, Freakonomics, whatever, that most common lines of attack towards an outgroup typically are more applicable to the in-group. So whether this is due to subconscious projection or some sort of fast inverse square evil floating point bit hack, the part reveals the whole type of recursive reveal of their own worldview remains to be seen, but this isn't really relevant to the point of this. So in other words, the right wing smears the left as oversensitive, moralizing, scared pussies. The left wing smears the right as these stupid, brutish liars with no ability to understand the perspectives of others who don't care if they make the world worse as long as they get what they want. We can see why this is fun.
Sorry, there's a part I'm waiting for that's coming up where he sort of goes into. Maybe I can. Fuck. Should I just let him talk? I don't. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Jump ahead to here.
The modern socially progressive left is significantly less concerned with economic policy and much more concerned with the goals of its constituent identity groups.
I don't think that's completely unfair to say, but I mean, I don't know. The modern socially progressive left. I mean, liberals are maybe like this. I think that there is a sort of like, you know, there's a class reductionist kind of lens you can look at things like, why do we care? Why are you talking so much about whatever, like black rights or gay rights or whatever? Like, we should be talking about class. That's stupid. But I don't think there's a whole lot of people who are truly like that, on the left anyway. But I think there's a lot of liberals who just don't really know about class and are focused entirely on identity politics. I don't know. I see what he's sort of getting at here.
A lot of these groups, at least the left-aligned subsets, have something that you cannot bring up. All right, issues that they feel are either so intractable or so optically bad that the only solution is suppression of any discussion. Because of this.
I don't know. I'm not loving where he's going with it, but it is sometimes hard to have discussions about things.
There is a massive taboo on acknowledging certain realities, even if relevant to the discussion at hand. Like what realities? Well,
okay, this is the part. So he's going to list now things that he just has defined as realities, acknowledging certain realities. These things are obviously true, but you're not allowed to say it. He's going to give you a list.
A good sort of heuristic for this is if you ask ChatGPT and it freaks out and lectures you and won't give you a clear answer, you're probably on the right track. Now, if I must get explicit with it...
ChatGPT isn't a leftist thing. ChatGPT is a robot made by like some of the most right-wing people alive.
You know, the sexual abuse rates of children by homosexual men.
Okay, sorry. Did I miss it? Yeah. If I must get explicit with it, so the things that you're not allowed to say. And here's his examples.
Now, if I must get explicit with it, you know, the sexual abuse rates of children by homosexual men.
The sexual abuse rates of children by homosexual men. What? What are you... oh, God. Okay.
Anything regarding race and IQ. Asking why so frequently gay couples only adopt boys.
So, like, I want to be, like, open to people who have difficult questions, but, like, these aren't even... Like, race and IQ, that is a conversation that has been had. These are things that people are allowed to talk about. Then these other things he's saying, the homosexual, what is it, abuse rates of children by homosexual men? What? Oh, God, okay. Like, I'm not even, like, this pilled in, like I said, a guy scrolling the worst X feed imaginable 9 hours a day. Like, I don't even know what he's talking about there. But that is just fucking, like, boilerplate, like, homophobia. You know? Like, that is what that is. This is why people didn't want gay teachers. This is why people didn't want gay guys adopting kids. And he's talking about, like, these are obvious truths you're not allowed to discuss. It's like, I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't even know not to tell you to talk about that. Like, if somebody brought that up to me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I wouldn't be like, shut up, you can't say that. Like, that's not something that's ever crossed my bubble. But okay, continue.
The fact that in the city of Washington, D.C., 97% of homicides are committed by black people. Questioning the motives of the trans community.
In the city of Washington, D.C., 97% of homicides are committed by black people. I mean, okay, man, sure, let's say you're right. We also know poverty causes crime, violent crime committed typically by people who are in desperate economic, socioeconomic situations. Black people in DC, I think there's I don't know. I don't know these stats off the top of my head. I would be willing to have a conversation about these things. I mean, maybe not everybody would. You can't just go up to somebody on the whatever that you see on the street and be like, "Oh, you're a leftist." Let's talk about how 97%. What do you think about how 97% of murders in Washington D.C. are done by black people? In Washington D.C., I mean, 97% of fucking murders in the world are committed by white people in Washington D.C. If you know what I'm saying, politicians, they're a bunch of crooks and killers. But like, I don't know, man. I guess there's like contexts that you can't
community. Love bombing 14-year-old autists and trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. The widespread.
This one is so fucking infuriating. He's like, again, he's phrasing these as obvious truths that you're not allowed to acknowledge. And what did he say here? Questioning the motives of the trans community, love bombing 14-year-old autists, trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. Like you can't say these things are obvious truths and then phrase things in the most reactionary, hateful way. Like, I mean, maybe he doesn't realize he's doing it, but that is love bombing 14-year-old autists, trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to go through each one of these things, especially off the top of my head, but we can all see this is not an honest way of framing things. You can't say these are obvious truths that you're not allowed to discuss and then say something that is a lie. Like, I think that what you're seeing is there are a lot of people who are young trans, kids who are like, I'm trans, and receiving love and support online from other trans people who maybe didn't receive that support when they were children, or maybe they did receive that support and it was like life-saving for them and they want to return that. You see there's trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. I think there is a understanding backed by a lot of research and what we have from what's happened so far in this fucking world of this growing understanding and awareness of trans needs. To guys, I'm just off the top of my head, so forgive me if I get any of this stuff wrong, but it's much better for trans kids to be put on puberty blockers and then moving them on to HRT at a certain age where it's agreed on by medical professionals based on evidence and whatever studies in the past that this is a good time to do this, to give them the proper puberty the first time around that aligns with their gender identity, then to force them to go through the puberty that doesn't align with their gender. And that is all so clear to me, and I feel like so clear to anyone who does any amount of like honest looking into this situation, who isn't pilled by fucking Matt Walsh tweets. Like, to phrase it this way is so fucking despicable. I'm sorry. It's bigoted. It's wrong. This is fucking like, I don't know, like it's God, I don't even know what he's talking about here. But I just like, these are not obvious truths. Okay? Obvious truths, if you're going to say these are things you can't acknowledge, put some fucking stats on the screen. Show me a fucking study. Show me that you cannot just say, oh, no one's allowed to mention, like he did with George Floyd, no one's allowed to say the video where you can see the fentanyl in his mouth or whatever. It's like, no, what are you talking about, man? I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I should have prepared a little bit more for this, but I forgot that this list was so long.
Love bombing 14-year-old autists and trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. The widespread Somali fraud.
The widespread Somali fraud. Motherfuckers quoting fucking Nick Shirley. The fucking benevolence guy. This is not a fucking thing, dude. This is not a thing. Immigrants, including Somalians, commit less crime than natural-born citizens. The widespread Somali fraud. Bro, you're supposed to be a fucking class reductionist. You should at least understand how class intersects with crime. Oh my God. All right. The crime rates of African immigrants, he says.
And trying to get them on HRT as soon as possible to make them hot. The widespread Somali fraud. Crime rates of African immigrants. Muslim refugee rape rates. UK rape gangs. Affirmative action in DEI.
Muslim refugee rape rates. UK rape gangs. I mean, to be honest, don't really know much about these things, but I understand that people with the most fascist, whatever, TikTok algorithms believe that these things are 100% true. I'm not going to bother kind of like, I'm just like off the top of my head talking about these things. So I don't know enough about these things to go into them, but like,
hiring practices.
You get the idea.
This is leading to incompetent. The fact that the
DEI practices leading to incompetent was the sentence. Did I hear that right?
refugee rape rates, UK rape gangs, affirmative action and DEI hiring practices leading to incompetent. The fact that the two-spirit identity was created.
So that's just another way of saying like white people are better than everyone else. It's so fucking racist and idiotic. It's stupid. Like this guy's like, oh, you believe that? Oh, you believe that? Oh, you believe exactly what the fucking CIA wants you to believe, like with everything. And he swallowed the dumbest fucking pill about like white supremacy, okay, white superiority in all things. This is designed. This is like the fucking what's like the best political cartoon ever made is the one where it's like that immigrant wants to steal your cookie or something. Is after your cookie, I think is the caption. Hang on. This one here. I think, yeah. This is the best political cartoon ever, I think. Careful, mate. And it's supposed to be, I think that's supposed to be Rupert Murdoch? Or I don't know, whatever. Some rich fucking capitalist, whatever, guy. Careful, mate. That foreigner, yeah, it's got to be him because he's like Australian. Careful, mate. That foreigner wants your cookie. Can't do an Australian accent. But, and this is it, right? Black guy got no cookie. White guy got one cookie. Rich guy got like 50 cookies. And he's like, oh, God. This is what I'm saying. Racism is a tool by the elite in order to divide the working class against their interests. That's always been what it is. This is when fucking like, when Canada was, when we got our healthcare, one of the big arguments against it was that you need to ship in more doctors from Africa. You're going to get an African doctor looking after your health. Do you want that? It's like, this has been a tool. This has been a tool back in the fucking, slavery days with slaves in like the Caribbean and the fucking American South working alongside white indentured servants who were treated horribly as well, but obviously in a better position than the slaves were. They were talking to each other. They were acting. They were exchanging ideas. They were just, hey, we should fight for a better treatment. And then actually, no, white people, you guys get money if you help us catch these escaped slaves. If you help us do this shit. This is like a conscious effort to delude you. And for you to say something so fucking historically illiterate as this fucking, DEI leading to incompetence. Go back to the fucking 1950s or whatever. Look at the surgeons of the world, okay? Look at the surgeons in America. And you'll find that all the surgeons are white dudes, okay? And at that time, they'd be like, oh yeah, well, white dudes are just the only people who can do it. They're the only people smart enough and, I don't know, steady enough hands to do surgery. And then look forward in the future and see, oh, now all of a sudden there's a lot of women doing surgery. Well, but there's not a lot of black people. It must be because black people are not. And then look, now it's like there's a lot more black people doing it. It's like, oh, that's interesting. We're still not. It's still not like everybody can do these things. It looks like the people who are able to become surgeons now are weirdly lines up with like the people who have the economic ability to afford all the years of school to get you to that point. But if we were in a situation, say, in some future where everyone has an equal opportunity to attend school, if there's no, racial whatever reason to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, guys. We could imagine a future world where everything is kind of equal and everything is good between people. We aren't divided by race, sex, sexuality, gender, blah, 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 where anyone can be whatever they want. And everyone has the access to be whatever they want. And you can't look at a fucking world and be like, look, there's fucking like Elon Musk fucking idiotic bullshit where he's like, all these plane crashes, it's because there's black pilots. And he doesn't even bother to show you proof that that the pilot that just crashed the plane was black. He just says, well, look, it's because DEI just started. It's like it's fucking stupid and it's racist. It's both of those things. And I can forgive being stupid. But yeah, I don't know. All right. Sorry. I'm going to continue on. He's not even done. He's not even done. So, okay, so DEI practices lead to incompetence. All right. Not a grammatically structured sentence, but all right. I fucked up the grammar on that sentence, so whatever.
Of affirmative action and DEI hiring practices leading to incompetent. The fact that the Two-Spirit identity was created in 1990 by a homosexual white pedophile, not an indigenous American.
Okay, that is so fucking stupid. Sorry, forgot about these. And again, off the top of my head here, don't know if I got all this right. The fact that the Two-Spirit identity was created in 1990 by a homosexual white pedophile, not an indigenous American. So I know some Two-Spirit people, some indigenous people who are Two-Spirit identity. And the deal with that is, from what I understand, is that, so like indigenous people in Canada and in the US we just think of them like the like white people, whatever, non-indigenous folk. We think of them as just like one group. They're just, those are just natives. Those are just indigenous people. Those are whatever you call them. But they're actually like many, many different groups, many nations across Turtle Island that have different cultural traditions, beliefs, understandings of themselves and others. And many of them have ancient, like, what would I call it? Like third gender or some sort of transgender concept that is different and has different names and is called different things between different people. But I guess in the 90s, and I don't know if it was created by a homosexual white pedophile, the term Two-Spirit, but like, whatever. Okay, fucking who cares? I don't give a fuck. Let's say it was. It's just a word, a phrase used to describe this larger thing. So, like, what is he even saying there? Is he saying that trans people don't exist and it's a psyop by homosexual white pedophiles? Like, what is he even saying there? At the one point, he's like, oh, DEI, blah, 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 oh, white people are better at everything. And then at the same time, he's like, I think we need more brown pedophiles or whatever. I don't know. It's just ignorant. It's stupid. And you cannot say these things, read off your teleprompter like this, without, number one, show me what the fuck you're talking about with some sources, some fucking, throw up an article headline at least so I can know what you're talking about instead of just guessing. And you can't say this as if you cannot say these are obvious truths. If you're trying to say that every time I bring this up, people get mad at me, that's one thing. And we can talk about that. We can discuss that you maybe have issues with interpersonal communication, reading the room. And I don't think, and I don't speak for everyone, but I don't think it's totally bad to say that, like, to have conversations about things. Maybe it's better to do them like in private, not like on your Twitter page or in the fucking replies of a marginalized person, making them feel like under attack. But like, you can tell that he's done no research on these aside from frying his brain with the fucking, Muskified algorithm he's been sopping up. This guy spends all his day on Twitter.
You get the point. These are all concrete, real things.
Okay.
They're factually, objectively real things. But most of these are also things without a clear solution, and as a result, there's a massive social taboo about acknowledging their existence at all. The way these are treated is to dismiss...
Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I feel like I've... I don't know. I'm trying my best here. This is genuinely a difficult thing to talk about, but it upsets me because there are parts of what he's saying that I'm like, that would be a good thing for us to discuss, and maybe this could be like a growing moment. And then there are other things he says that I'm like, oh my God, okay, so you're just racist. You're just a racist. I mean, not only a racist, but like, you believe the fucking, like you said, you believed the party line before. Now you believe the Nazi party line. I don't know. Lots of people's research is seeing stuff online, for sure, but And I mean, like maybe I wouldn't be as mad if like this was somebody that I knew in real life who was like asking me these curious questions. This guy he positions himself as a fucking psyop expert. He's got 500,000 YouTube subscribers. He's massive. He's making like bank on his fucking videos. He's got all these whatever impressionable people following him. He's got a lot of Nazis following him. I think maybe this is a bit of audience capture as well as everything else. But I would just expect a little bit more, you know? Sorry, I did want to look something up. What the fuck was what were we just talking about? As a result, these are all concrete, real things. 505,000. He's got more than 500,000. Damn. I gotta think that number's going to go down, though. Fuck. Sorry, I'm trying to... There was something else I wanted to look up here. People have eyes. Crap. Factually, whatever. Oh, I had something really great I was going to just bring up. Can't for the life of me remember what it was. Yeah, gang, it's rough. It's rough. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. I genuinely didn't have a major issue with this guy for a while, and I had people being like, "Oh, Flush Simulator, you follow Flush Simulator? Oh, you like Flush Simulator? Oh, come on, he's bad." And yeah, I mean, I think maybe I gave him a little bit. I guess I gave him too much benefit of the doubt. Oh man, I feel like stressed out just going over this. Yeah, I don't know. What do we think, gang? The rich and powerful use the culture to divide the working class. Yeah. Oh, yes. If you can convince, yeah. What is this quote? If you convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. That's LBJ, yeah. One of the most interesting presidents. Yeah. Yeah. I also like the quote. I forget who said this. Maybe it was just like a black guy in some movie, but it's like, some white men will shit in their own pants just so that a black guy has to smell it, or something like that. And I kind of feel like that's what Flush Simulator is doing on his Twitter. Oy. God. The thing is, Flush Simulator now knows how people react to a given level of effort, and now there is no effort. Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. Because people like this vibe. People like this vibe, and I feel like that's kind of the case for a lot of shit. With conspiracy theory shit, I do think there's like, when you're telling people what they want to hear, that's so powerful. So powerful to just like reconfirm people's bias. And I think that's sort of what he does. And I've noticed for a while, he's got such a weird comment section. The only people in his replies, it's always like Nazis or like leftists, like anarchists, you know, or like Felix Biederman, you know, like that's it. It's the only people who like Flush Simulator. And it was so odd. Almost felt like a J-Rag like comment section. But now it's a lot more of one type of those things. It's a Nazi bar. It's a Nazi bar. If you don't kick out the Nazis, you might not have intended to open a Nazi bar, but that's what it will become. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I mean, I always thought he was kind of weird and awkward, but I liked his videos. He is weird and awkward, but like I feel like that adds to the vibe. That like it makes him like he seems like a guy who knows a lot about conspiracies. You know, and he does. He just has not done any real research into them, and he gets. Even when he talks about like Pizzagate and shit, I'm not saying you gotta believe everything that I think about Pizzagate, right? Like, I've done a lot of Pizzagate research, and when I talk about Pizzagate, I try to show you what I've learned. But when he talks about it, he's going off the dome, and he has done no reading, and he's getting shit wrong that even if you believe that Tony Podesta was sacrificing children at Comet Ping Pong, you wouldn't be getting these basic facts wrong. You know? So it's just like, it's lazy. And that's the worst thing about this whole thing, is how lazy he is with his research. No, the worst thing is probably the racism. I'm annoyed because I think I did have another point to make, but I cannot remember what it was. Anyway, I'm sad to see this happen to a guy, and again, like I almost feel like it's like a Kanye situation, because it does seem like he's having like a mental health break. You know, like this is not the fucking behavior of a man who's, you know, regularly going to therapy and doing really well. You know, the red paint on his face, the tweeting. Oh God, the tweeting. Please, if you or anyone you know is in contact with this man, tell him to put his phone in a vault for a fucking month at least, because, oh God, it's not helping. Oh, I remember the thing I was going to look up. I remember. Okay, I'm glad I stalled long enough to remember. If anybody's read Doppelganger by Naomi Klein, she has a formula in that thing, which is it's wrong. It's a bad formula. Sorry, I gotta find it. Formula. Nope. Hang on now, just a minute there. Hang on now, just give me a second. We're gonna find that right out loud. Formula? Nope. Come on now, I want the formula. Don't make me use Boolean operators. Yes, here it is. Oh, cool picture, New York Times. Come on now. So yes, if you read this book, it's called Doppelganger. It's so good. It's like I describe it as like if a Malcolm Gladwell book was good. Because every time I read a Malcolm Gladwell book, it's like he's got some cute concept and he tries to overextend it to like a bunch of cases, and you're like, it doesn't really make sense here. But this one is like that, but her concept that there's like a mirror world and doppelgangers or whatever, your shadow self, whatever, she puts it to a bunch of different things, and you read it and you're like, oh fuck, wow, yeah, I now understand the world. Thank you, Naomi Klein. But at one point in it, she's talking about like what Flesh Simulator is talking about here, about people who become right wing. And she comes up with a formula. Here it is. In Doppelganger, Klein offers a half-joking formula to explain one-time leftists or liberals who migrate to the authoritarian right. Okay, so like, it's not an unheard of thing. You got your like Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, I don't know, Jimmy Dore, like Elon Musk, even like, I don't know, Kanye West, you could say, whatever, like all these people. Okay. And I think about this often. So here's the formula: narcissism multiplied by grandiosity plus social media addiction plus midlife crisis divided by public shaming equals right-wing meltdown. All right. Now, I'm sure we can kind of see in that formula a lot of things going on with Flesh Simulator. But I will say, I do majorly disagree with the divided by public shaming. Because that would mean that like the more public shaming there is, the smaller the number would be, which no, public shaming, that should be a multiplier, right? Unless the public shaming is represented as a fraction or something. Anyway, I'm thinking about it too much, but yeah, this is what we're seeing here. Okay. This is, I mean, you know, it maybe seems cruel to accuse somebody of narcissism, which is like I think that's an actual diagnosis, but like, I will say, I think Flesh Simulator is a little full of himself. And you know, you can see kind of like the way he brings so much aggression to any interaction he has with people who even mildly disagree with him. I saw him going after this fucking tiny ass YouTuber, with like 200 subscribers because they did a video on Pizzagate and made a video like about him being like, "You are a pedophile," and being like, "Bro, what why would you fucking say that about somebody?" Like, I think he has, the grandiosity, like you can see in this video when he's like, my patience runs thin. I will now kill all the Power Rangers. Like he is cartoonishly over the top, right? Social media addiction, he 100% has. Midlife crisis, not sure how old he is. I mean, it seems like maybe my age or a bit older. He's balder than me, but my hair's been good to me. I'm older than I look. And I mean, I'm old enough to have a midlife crisis. I'm 36. That could be midlife. I mean, that is midlife, I guess. I just don't really think about it. That's my secret. Just push it down. Bottle it up. Don't think about it. And divided by public shaming. That should be multiplied by. Yes, this happened too. This happened too. I don't know. I think he's saying like TrueAnon fans did it to him or something, but like apparently a lot of people have been fucking like doxing him and shit. Don't do that. And I guess I'm sort of participating in that right now because I'm publicly shaming him or whatever, but I don't know. I also, and I know this is maybe not warranted, but I would like there to be like a even when people say like horrific shit and they have the right-wing meltdown, I would like there to be a way back. And I mean, I don't know what that would look like in this case. This is kind of an extreme case, but as I've said, I do think that the left can be too, I don't know, gatekeepy, not even gatekeepy, but like the public shaming aspect and like the harassment mobs and the doxing and whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but it sounds like a lot of people did some really heinous things. And I don't think that's right. But I also think that Flesh Simulator has done a extremely poor job of representing his, awful beliefs to begin with. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess it's hard to give him too much grace here, but it makes me sad, man. It makes me sad. I don't like seeing this happen to people, and I don't like participating in it. But I felt like I should say something, and I talked about it for a lot longer than I wanted to. I intended to, but anyway, that's what I think about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's what you're covering. He has a history of boosting small creators. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was so weirded out that he didn't mention me in that video, because he mentions this guy and some other Pizzagate guys who made Pizzagate videos, and he sort of like insinuates that they're pedophiles, and I'm like, bro, like, what about me, man? Like, what am I? What am I, chopped liver? I made a video that you would probably consider like pedophile apologia. Why aren't you making fun of me? It's fair to view people like Flesh Simulator as a threat as they actively spiral out, harming themselves at the very least. I mean, yeah. I think that I view him as a threat to himself. And I don't know. I think he's made people dumber. I think he's made people misinformed. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I am too chill. I've struggled with this one because I do like to, grieving a person you know of on the internet sucks. And I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Hey, one battle after another, one best picture. And again, I'm not, hey, wouldn't have been my vote, but I did predict that it would win. But boom. Thanks, Tudes. Oh, who won best animated short? Which one did I miss? Oh man, I did so well. Gang, I'm so good. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing you what I was doing. Best animated short. Oh, come come on. You know what I meant. Oscars 2026. Retirement plan. I think that is what I put. Yep. Cha-ching. Hell yeah. Gang. This is a new record for me. No, I don't think it is. I definitely got better than this before, but I did pretty well. One battle after another. I got everything right except best cinematography. Went to Sinners, well deserved. Although I would have personally given it to Train Dreams. Sinners, amazing. Best documentary feature. I mean, yeah, I didn't watch any of those. Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Was that good? I feel like what I find is if there's a documentary that I've heard of in just like whatever my daily life, it's usually like amazing. I don't know if that's like a super good rule of thumb, but like if because people don't watch documentaries, and if there's one that's good enough that people watch it and they talk about it, I guess Coney 2012 maybe is the an exception to that, but like, well, that wasn't really a documentary anyway. But I don't know anything about it. Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Sentimental value, yes, I got that one wrong. I should have watched The Secret Agent, eh? But I hear Secret Agent's really good. Best casting. Oh yes, this new category. I'd like to hear more about what makes a good cast. Like, how do they pick that? Yeah, I'd like to hear people talk about like what made the casting for Oba so good. It's all subjective, you know, but I like once a year it's fun to pretend that it's just math and you can easily predict who's going to win what. Man, if elections were this easy to predict, God, I would be like a fucking rich. I would be, what's his name? Nate Silver or somebody. Somebody better than that. Anyway, Coney 2012 was robbed. Yeah, Trey-handed election prediction next. I wonder if the people that have called me a pedophile for being skeptical of their wildest Epstein theories are Flesh Simulator fans. Yeah. Anyway, gang, yeah, sorry. I feel honestly kind of wiped out from that. And I don't know. Because I also feel like when I do talk about other creators, like when I put up a video and it has a picture of, you know, like Ian Carroll or Crystal Ball or Flesh Simulator in the thumbnail, it gets a lot of hits. And I think people are hungry for this sort of thing. And I think you can probably make a lot of money and become a really successful creator by talking about other YouTubers and the drama and blah, blah, blah. And I really don't want to do that. That whole vibe seems just rancid to me. But anyway, I hope you guys got what I was saying. Some of the points I was trying to make, I feel like I really stumbled over. And I mean, you know, like it is hard to talk about some of these topics, especially when you're an uninformed person like me or whatever. I'm just like, you know, off the dome, shooting from the hip or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think that there's a way back for a guy like Flesh Simulator, who's, you know, obviously an intelligent guy, but I just think he's like a little bit too far up his own ass, I guess, and probably like legitimately traumatized by the treatment he's received online, or that he's perceived that he's received online. And I don't know what that way back would be, but I like to welcome like all kinds of viewpoints, whatever, you know. You can watch the stream, you can hang out, you can be in the Chill Goblin community. You don't have to agree with me on everything. I'd like there to be diversity of thought, but I cannot fuck with just racism, man. It's just fucking baby brain bullshit. Like, you really have to get beyond that, you know? Yeah. I can't have people who are like in one breath saying shit about, oh, we gotta fucking, I don't know, redistribute the wealth. Oh, we need communism now. and then who are also being like, but black people are mentally inferior, you know, and just like lying or unintentionally spreading lies about whatever fucking right-wing psyop is the latest shit. And yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I feel like I've said all that shit already. I don't know. I just need, you know what? I'm stuck in a loop right now. You know, when you're like on a bad acid trip and you're like, oh, I keep having there's a loop in my head. I feel like that's what's happening to me right now. So I gotta figure out a way to end it. I feel like our culture has no middle ground between ignore it, sweep it under the rug, don't talk about it, and total social banishment. Ah, yes, that's so true, man. Yeah, totally agree, Finland. There's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be a better way. I mean, I think that some of the topics he brought up, I think that there would have been a way to do so fucking in an honest, good faith, whatever, have a conversation. But I don't know. It's hard. It's not easy. I'm not going to say that these things are easy to discuss. Certainly, like race and IQ, though. Like, I mean, I have had so many conversations about race and IQ with leftists. You know, it's like one of the main things that I feel like. I mean, maybe not anymore, but for a while, it was like one of the main points of discussion. You know. So, I mean, I think he's kind of like, maybe it's not that you can't talk about it at all, but it's just, if when you talk about it, you're just saying, no, it's true that there's a difference, and I refuse to look into why that would be. You know, okay, I'll say one more thing. And I've just been like, I've been noticing this more and more, that like, I think that one of the definitions of kind of like reactionary thought, you know, like I think like one of the simplest ways to think about being a reactionary is anytime that people below you on the hierarchy start to move, you notice them moving up, you fucking, you know, kick at their fingers climbing up the rungs of the ladder or whatever. You hate to see people getting rights. You feel like things are being taken away from you. That's a reaction. That's reactionary-ism. I don't know. That's being a reactionary. But another effect is that I see a lot is this conservative kind of Jordan Peterson style way of viewing the world, as you look at the way the world is. You know, you look at something like race and IQ, right? And you just, instead of looking into why is this happening? Why is there a difference? Why is there this? Why is there that? What are the historical reasons for this? What are the socioeconomic reasons for this? What are the specific situations here? Is it like this in other places? Is it like this? Blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing any of that, you just take the world as it is right now and you say, oh, yeah. Well, that's genetic. That's essential to who you are as a person. Because you are black, you have low IQ. Because you are, I don't know, a woman, you are whatever, like sexist thing. Like, because you are this, you're that. And we're not going to look into the social meanings, you know? It's the same way you look at like Israelis talking about Palestinians. Remember that Ben Shapiro tweet where he was like, Israelis like to build things. Palestinians, or Arabs, he said, Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. And it's like, he's looking at the situation as is, and you go, I wonder which side is more intelligent and better, and which side is savage, you know? And it's like, you are looking at the world as it is without examining the why. Like, why are things like this? Why are Palestinians, like, as Ben Shapiro would say, living in open sewage? Could it be because the Israelis control their fucking whatever water shit? And I don't know all the exact details here, but like, this is just a stark example of it. But you see it everywhere, you know? The race and IQ thing, perfect example of it. You look at, and like, I don't know. It's a incurious and dangerous and just, it's disappointing to me that someone like Flesh Simulator, who considers himself, even in these videos, a truth teller, and I'm like opening your eyes and waking you up and blah blah blah, that he's not the type of person who would take a second to look into this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see what you're saying. Goblin, you're doing it again. These are never good faith arguments. They don't really believe this stuff. Lack of critical thinking. I love Corey Robin. Yeah. Yes, I have read Corey Robin. The Reactionary Mind, right? Fantastic book. I read that book years ago. I made a video about it actually. My H.P. Lovecraft video. Really helped. I also took a course randomly during COVID with Matt McManus, where he talked about I think it was called like the conservative. What was it? The conservative ideology or something like that. And it was really helpful just to kind of like understand how conservatives think. And I love the way Corey Robin puts it, where he's like, I'm talking about reactionaries right now. So that includes fascists, conservatives, John Birchers, Catholics, like includes like all, he gives a huge list of people. It's like, this is what we're talking about. These are reactionaries. And leftists often have a hard time understanding like how these people view the world, but it really comes down to hierarchy. And it can be a hard pill to swallow, right? And be like, well, no, like I'm not into hierarchy. Like I just believe in family values, right? Like family values, but it's like, what does that mean? It means that you believe that the man is the head of the household and the women does the laundry and the children are subservient. And then we also are taking these family values to be like, oh, it's got to be a man and a woman. We can't have a man and a man or whatever. Like that's not a family value. Like these are hierarchies that we're creating and maintaining and upholding and supporting and building new hierarchies. Like that's what that boils down to. Family values is a nice way to think about it though. Oh no, I'm just a traditionalist. Like I believe in traditional things. Coincidentally, traditional things tend to be a lot more hierarchical. There are ways of viewing conservatism that make it sound nice and whatever, make it sound good, and perhaps in some situations there maybe it is. I don't know. Listen, I don't know everything. I could be wrong, but I personally don't like hierarchies, and I think we should have as little of them as possible. I'll say, yeah. Power of father, below God, easy. Yeah, I mean, like you look at the Nazis, right? The way that Hitler, ran things. It was like explicitly stated, like Germany is the state is a family. Hitler is your daddy, and then it's the same as in the household. The dad is in charge. Patriarchy. What is it that Bell Hooks always says? White supremacist, patriarchal, capitalist. Oh, she has a much nicer way of saying it. Bell Hooks, white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal structure, something like that. White supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal. Bell Hooks. Oh, I don't know, gang. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. I think I just got to end the stream. White supremacist, capitalist, patriarchy is what she would say. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. We gotta think about that stuff sometimes. You know what I mean? What do you guys think about the new angle? What do we think about this? Goblin Queen said I had to move the thing because I kept showing the back of my head when I was looking at the one monitor, and that made me feel insecure because I'm like, oh God, can people see that I'm like balding? And then she was like, you got to put the thing up on a thing, and then I got even more worried about people being able to see my thinning hair, but no, I think it's fine. But I don't know if I like it because it is different, and that frightens me. Didn't notice the angle being different? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. It should be a total secret. Cool. Yeah, anyway. Hope you guys can sense how uncomfortable that I was with this stream. But thank you for watching, and I think we'll call it a day for now. In conclusion, I don't know. What's a funny sound drop right now?
I had the spanking there at the end, and I certainly enjoyed it.
I think that'll do. All right, gang. I want a bald spot cam. Yeah. I'll get one. I'll get like a little fucking webcam attached to like the top of my headphones. barely different. It is actually like pretty distinctly different, actually. I mean, the camera's like in a completely different spot in the room, but I don't know. Who knows? Rest well. All right, gang. We got to go. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that wasn't too awkward. Peace.
I wanted to air this because I got sent this and I saw this and I watched most of it. I didn't see it all this morning. It's like 30 minutes long, but I watched part of it. And the guy's saying he's criticizing me because you do that, you don't get banned by the algorithm. And he's just one surfer coming on the waves we created. So he pretty much gets it. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name, Extra Chill Goblin. We always like goblin jokes. I don't know why. I made goblin jokes years ago. They became super viral, so whatever. Yeah. We'll air that. So here's Extra Chill Goblin, and then Harrison Smith takes over. Here it is. Extra Chill Goblin. He pretty much gets it. Dirty. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name. Extra Chill Goblin vomit, slop, and blood. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's got a goblin guide charging into a goblin's nest. I don't want to see him kissing goblins. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. Literal pot-belly goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Extra chill goblin.